Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of Hollywood After Dark. Today, of course, is the 4th of January, 2022. It's been a wild day in Snyderland, getting confirmation to an extent. Is it over? Half-Neck out, Cavill on his way out the door. And does Grace know it all? Let's break it all down and more here tonight. Hollywood After Dark, let's go. Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing? Welcome to the party. Of course, it's another night here, which means it's another night of me talking to you about movies. And I hope to God, I pray to God, no karaoke. I can't do the karaoke again, guys. Not tonight. That was way too freaking embarrassing last night. But there, of course, is a lot to get to tonight. There's a lot going on. A lot of people in the Snyder Cut fandom are upset. I know I said I was going to be done talking about it. I was hoping I was going to be done talking about it. And just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in because there's a lot to discuss today. There's absolutely great things to discuss here. But first off, even though I said no karaoke, Elmo here with a $5 super chat says, sing some Shake It Off next time you do karaoke. Well, you know what I might do? If we get to that tonight, all right? And I'll save this, all right? I might do it, but I'm going to do it from the movie Sing because I like that version to Shake It Off. But then again, like I said, tonight's going to be interesting. And joining me, my friend, your friend, you know him, you love him, RJ. What's going on, RJ?
Hey, what's up, Matt?
What
a day, huh?
What I know, we literally a week ago, we're like, we're done. And I mean, no, we're not even necessarily talking about.
Still done.
Yeah, it's semantics, you know.
It's more so we're not really talking about the fandom itself anymore. At least me personally.
There's one element of that I want to point out. There's one element of that today that I want to point out, and you know what I'm talking about. And
the Batgirl directors.
Yeah, right. Because here's the reality. I'll just start off by saying this. Let me try to find that tweet real quick, but. The reality of that's right, that's the wrong one.
We'll talk about her eventually too. But.
Oh, we'll get to Grace. Oh, we will get to Grace. That's not even
public enemy number one of the DCEU fandom.
Right now, she is public enemy number one. I did have that original thumbnail.
I like the original. I gotta be honest.
You know what? I made this one a little bit different. I'll fully admit. I might put the other one back to see if you guys like the original or not. I don't know. I made it on my phone and I didn't really like tweak it too much beforehand. I don't even know if I saved it on the computer. I know it's on my phone and everything. I just wanted to showcase one element of it above all else. Yeah, I didn't even save it on my phone. But there's one thing I want to talk about. We'll get to that point. Joining us also is Jimbo. What up, Jimbo?
What's up, guys?
Surprised I could pull you away from playing your PlayStation 5.
Yeah. Gaming system. Why the hell are you not playing that thing?
Who says I'm not?
I'll be able to tell.
Oh, he could tell. He could tell. Trust me.
Oh, I can tell. I know those sounds. But the one thing I wanted to just kind of start off the night. And everything, but kind of like, I guess you could say, getting to the meat of the issue, because we're not talking much today about the Snyder fandom, but there is one element of something to bring up, and that, of course, is this year. So what we're looking at here is an attack on the Batgirl.
Caden was actually the first one I saw bring this up, and Caden was the one who found this, I believe, on Instagram, and. Now we're seeing this, and it's just it's getting pretty wild out there. I'll say.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, for one, what do the Batgirl directors have to do with literally anything? I mean, you have someone saying, here's Adil Lalarbi, Adil. I don't know what his full name is, so I don't.
Yeah, it's one of the directors. I think it's Adil Laaba or something. I'm not for sure.
Yeah,
but.
I don't know, and I don't want to mispronounce it or butcher it or whatever. But he says like day one of Batgirl. And he's very happy with it, and then people there are pretty happy about it, right? So far, right off the bat, the comments here seem pretty good. We're all for it. We're all for more. We're all from a Batgirl, And then someone here says boycott this dog shit, and then he responds by just giving a little bat emoji, and then here's someone else, Ben Affleck, please. an explanation, a big wreck of a movie, and people are
Bad
just bad emoji. Yeah, just people are just giving him a hard time. For what purpose? What purpose do they need to give him a hard time? The guy is just making a movie. He's a paid director.
They're making the movie that they've been asked to make, and they're trying to make the best movie that they can of the parameters of what they've been given.
Exactly.
That's it. That's how it is at the end of the day. So again, like harassing people and telling them that you're going to boycott his movie or you're not going to watch it. Again, there's really no purpose to that whatsoever.
No, there's not. That's just like, oh my God, I just want to, I just want to waggle my dick at these people because that's about it. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. But that's basically what it is. That's the whole point. We look. I'll be honest. I've said this for a while. I know RJ has backed me up on it. I'm sure Jimbo will as well. There are a lot of toxic Snyder fans. And the thing is that a lot of people out there do not want to acknowledge that. They don't want to admit what these people are.
Well, I think
I just engaged with one today.
Well, Music Man brings up a great point too. Just look at how people have been responding to Peacemaker. I know we talked about it yesterday, but the reviews came out.
I have an article up with that. To kind of summarize a bit of that, where I was kind of like I was in Peacemaker, or I was in Film Junkies chat earlier tonight, listening to him a little bit. And look, I like Dave. Dave and I clearly disagree on a lot of stuff.
I'm proud of his channel. He's a cool dude. He's
a cool guy. Yeah, and the biggest issue with Dave is that like Dave is when I talk about people who are kind of walking that fine line, when they're walking that real fine line of shit, Dave is right in there. Dave is the guy who's trying to like go, okay, have faith, but let's also be realistic here. And you can tell the chat are full of people that are very, very angry about what was said today, and they're trying to cope the best that they can. They're trying to really cope the best way that they can. And I think the biggest problem with that is at some point you cannot control the monster anymore.
Yeah, well, thank God for one of his mods in his chat, Jose. Jose is one of the most level-headed people in the whole fandom and community. Thank God for him. I'll just say that. There are some still level-headed people, but it is kind of you get deep in there sometimes. There's some people just like, oh my God, what is wrong with you? You just want to shake their heads,
Well, Dave doesn't say anything because Dave is also not trying to like be too... Dave, look, like a lot of those guys aren't going to say anything. Like they might try to hint at it, but they're never going to come right out and like make a bold proclamation of like, hey, shut the fuck up, sort of thing. They're never going to do it. And that's fine. Not everybody is, I guess, equipped for that level of battle. Not everybody is that stubborn. Not everybody is me. And, and I get that. I totally get that. But at the end of the day, I think that, they're going to probably end up losing out on this fight, because they're not going to be able to sit there and control it in the way that they want to. And I've learned this the hard way, is if you don't say something and you ultimately end up like just kind of letting it fester and grow the way that this is fester and growing, you're going to start seeing battle lines drawn in the sand, and you're going to see people go one way or another. And that's going to be the bigger problem here. So, Forther says, let people be angry. It's really no big deal. Well, if it's really no big deal, then why are they angry? That's kind of the whole point. When they're attacking the directors of other movies, should we let that go? Should we not say something? When they're telling, a film critic of color to go back to Africa, should we be quiet and not say anything? That's kind of the whole point I'm trying to get to here, is if you see something, say something. People can be angry and frustrated all they want, but it's what they do with their voice and their platform that is going to be criticized. And like, that's all I'm talking about here. So, and I've invited Dave on to talk about this kind of stuff, and I don't think Dave will come on my show, to be honest with you. I just don't see that happening anymore. So that's kind of the point. Stamina here says, what you allow is what will continue. Yeah, that's true. JR says, Jarbo, why are you angry? I'm not angry. If you listen to last night's stream, we were just having a lot of fun making really, really bad jokes last night. I'm not angry at all, man. Like when I talk about this stuff, but I'm also, look, you have to understand, like my motto on this show is more or less like humor, passion, truth, because that's how I approach things. I try to be as humorous as I possibly can. I'm very passionate, and I try to tell you guys the absolute truth. There are certain things that I think require a savvier way of saying them, and sometimes I'm not the best at that. There is something that I've come across that I'm very frustrated by that I want to talk about, but I haven't gotten to the bottom of it yet. So I don't want to blow it out of proportion and make an accusation against somebody that isn't accurate. So I want to I'm trying to get the info that I need, because this has really been bothering me with what I found. And it's a minor thing, but it's because what it snowballed into. That's kind of the whole point. And so, but you have to approach it from those perspectives. And in this particular case, it has something to do with the Snyderverse and everything else. So that's frustrating, because you have to I'm not trying to be dishonest, but I want to make sure that I'm not throwing somebody under the bus that I genuinely like if I'm going to be public and criticizing them. So there's all that kind of stuff. But in this particular case with the Snyder fans, going after, it's not everybody, obviously, but it does need to be called out more often, and it does need to be really, mocked and made fun of, because these people don't represent you. Do not let them represent you. And the more that they have a voice and the more that they don't get challenged, the more they're going to represent you. Although I do have to quickly address Carlos here. He says, I'm still thinking if it would be better if Superman had sex with his cousin or with Lois to have a baby.
No, we are
That's
not.
a very
No.
I'm simply pointing out that if we're looking at this from the multiversal perspective, it is probably better for Kal-El and Kara to smash pelvises to procreate the next species of Kryptonian versus Lois, who doesn't have the same biological makeup and could technically maybe produce, but would not produce an heir that would be able to then reproduce and probably end up being sterile.
We are not doing Superman
like a mule.
We don't have to bring this back up again.
We have a lot more people watching at this point in time than we did last night. I'm merely pointing out the argument. If you want the whole argument, you can go and listen to that one here. The Watcher calls it 50 Shades of Krypton. That's a very, very, very good title for it.
We're not doing Superman Home Sweet Home Alabama, okay? We're good.
All right. I'm just saying. What H. Buster says it right.
I'll cringe again.
Yeah, Cavill wants Latina Callie. Well, you never know, man. You never know. There's that. Oh, it's Calvin here says, drop it, gross, not even funny anymore. Oh, no, it's super funny. It's really funny.
It's just funny, but it's just wrong. It's just wrong.
But
what are you doing, cousin?
What are you doing, cousin, bro?
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus Christ.
I'm trying to find your core. Krypton's core.
This is what happens when you tune into Hollywood After Dark. Positive mindset brings positive things. like a birth test or a pregnancy test.
Stop.
I don't know.
Like Lois's pregnancy test.
Spherical Man here says, you guys do realize that Supergirl in the comics is usually depicted as being under 18, so that whole cringy discussion is really off-putting. But we're not referring to Supergirl as being under the age of 18. Sasha Calle is clearly in her 20s. That was the whole joke. The joke is about this version of Supergirl and that version of Superman. That was the joke. Not old Superman and teenage Supergirl. It's nothing. Now you're taking it to a place where it's not. You're making it weird, Spherical Man. You're making it weird. You're making it weird. Let's see. Sasha is Zod's and Feora's love child. Then they're not cousins.
Yeah,
they're not cousins.
Then hey, then it'll work. That's a potential.
Yeah. Carlos here says, I love it when Matt stops the seriousness and starts talking about anything ridiculous. Like the time he explained how a duck penis works and the orgy at Marvel Studios with Kevin Feige. I've talked about the duck penis and how it's a corkscrew, and how the duck vagina is a choose your own adventure. And I'm not kidding you, multiple endings. And then the orgy at Marvel Studios, I don't remember, but it would make sense with Feige in the center, 100% Feige in the center on that one. But okay, all right. We've. No, Richard, you haven't missed a Grace Randolph part yet. We're just priming the audience. All right. So let's okay, there's some super chats to get to here. All right. H bar's here for $2. Says it's time to play the jar boat. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. We're not doing that.
Time to play the music on Jar Show.
Yeah, we're not doing that. No, we're not doing this. We're not doing the Muppets. Let's see. Serious question. Would Feige restore the Snyderverse if he was in charge? No, if Feige was in charge, there would never be
put into a position like that.
Yeah, it would just continue going. It would what if he was in charge and it launched in 2013, here it is 8 years later or 9 years later almost, we would be almost at the end of the first major saga. Like it would be almost the end of the Darkseid saga at this point is what he would do. So
yeah, they would have never had to release a different cut of the movie. We would have got the best version of the movie in theaters the first time around.
Yeah, they would have done it right and they would have made it work. So yeah, I mean that's the whole point. The lack of a plan, the lack of a cohesive plan and a cohesive vision is also what hurt the Star Wars sequel trilogy, which they are now trying to kind of pseudo retcon with the TV shows, which I'm fine with because it's giving us more context. But if they would have been better planned, this wouldn't have been an issue. So no, if Feige was in charge, we would not be having this conversation. Todd here for $5. Thank you, Todd. Todd says, why can't the hardcore Snyder fans accept that the Snyderverse is over? It's like they're in denial. Well, I mean, look, there are multiple stages of grief. Denial is one of them.
I mean, here's the thing, right? You don't have to accept it's over or like admit it's over. Just don't put your head in the sand and act like there's not challenges to getting restored. It continuing. Like, is there a chance it could happen? Sure. I mean, however low it is, there's still a chance. I mean, I feel like we all kind of feel that way because with the merger still happening, and there could be some possibilities, but we have to stop pretending that like it's clearly that there aren't obstacles in the way right now.
No, there are definite obstacles in the way right now. Yeah, 100%. And I think that's going to maintain for a while. So look, I've never said it's not going to happen ever, but it's just not going to happen right now. And I think a lot of people out there are kind of also agreeing with that one. But I do think a lot of them are in denial. RPK here says, until Zach says something about this toxicity, it will continue. And Zach won't until something really bad happens, i.e. January 6th. Like,
whoa.
Wow, that's... But you know what's... Well, I'll tell you this, though. I was going to be a real dick today. I didn't post it, but I was like, so yeah, the way people were acting today in regards to what Grace had said, which we'll get to here in a second, the way a lot of people were acting about that was kind of had that vibe a little bit, like you just lost the election vibe. Like it doesn't matter what anyone tells you, whatever expert comes in and says this was a legitimate election. It's like, some guy on the internet said different, so I'm going to go with that. And that's, yeah, I mean, that's kind of the vibe, and I know Max, he's probably listening, will probably get a little bit on the upset side of that. But at the reality of it is that's kind of the truth. It's like you have Zach telling you they don't want him. Zach saying that the Snyderverse is original content over its whatever original content that he's doing. You've got Ann Sarnoff coming out and saying it's not happening. Walter Hamada saying that it was a cul-de-sac. All of these people, everyone involved, Ben Affleck going, I'm done with IP related films, everything else. It's like
in quick succession.
Yeah, a lot of things that have happened over the last few months. And then it's like, but Zach said this, and it's like, yeah. Zach also said not to give up hope during the holidays during a high suicide rate time, So, and again, Zach has also said, I'll never say no to a paying customer. We can always quote Zach, but there's always the little quotes to listen to that I think really give you the idea of where things are currently at. And this whole wait for the merger is almost like it's almost like it's
wait.
The vibe I get out of that.
I know what you're about to say.
No, well, the vibe I'm going to get is it's like the merger feels like that whole argument of, well, just wait for Mike Pence to fix it during the counting of the electoral votes.
We'll wait until the merger. Honestly, I think we gotta wait until the merger. Wait until Flash has all these major reshoots and where they rewrite Batgirl and Black Canary and all these movies.
Oh yeah. Hold on, Caden. Hold on, Jarbo. Did you know that the Flash is gonna have major reshoots that'll push the movie to March 2023?
Oh my god!
Oh, I did hear. Yeah, I saw that floating around
Aquaman
today.
And every movie that's that's part of the DCU main timeline is going to be delayed until 2024. They're waiting until the Flash comes out. Yes, indeed. They're delaying They're delaying Peacemaker as well. I think I think I heard rumblings of them even scrapping it as a whole, even though it premieres next week.
Man, I'll tell you, I cannot wait for like the amount of salt to flow from like the angry Snyder Bros to over Peacemaker. Like some of the jokes that are going to be in there.
Oh, someone was already
are.
complaining
They already
about the Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman stuff, especially Wonder Woman. They're like, why is Peacemaker saying that Wonder Woman was eye effing her across the room at a party in front of kids? And it's like, dude, do you not know who Peacemaker is? Peacemaker's a total douchebag and a liar. Of course he's gonna say that shit.
Yeah.
I just cannot wait for when the merger actually does happen and watch it. Nothing happens, or simply like it'll be quiet after, and people will be thinking of like literally like dying internally. Like it's gonna get so much worse if when this merger happens and literally nothing happens for a while. They'll just lose their mind.
Well, the
Breaking
thing is, the
news,
merger.
Breaking news, guys. Zach is shadow producing, writing, and directing The Flash.
Oh,
Wow.
shush.
Oh.
Wow.
Shush. Hold on, Todd here for $5 says you missed my super chat. Sorry, buddy. I did go back. I was saving them to get to there in a second, but thank you for that. I appreciate it. I know. It's just hysterical overall. Oh man. Hold on, Todd once again with another $5. You did find my super chat. Anyway, have a good evening. Thanks, Todd. Appreciate it, brother.
he sends a $5 super chat.
I know. Todd is a great supporter of the channel. I love Todd. Thank you. I look forward to him being the first person to comment after the stream by saying the DCEU is dead. Long live Kevin Feige, because that's kind of what he does. Like that's his mainstay on everything. But Todd's a really, really, really nice guy. We got £5 for Benson. Says if you hear it lie often enough, you start to believe it. Hashtag acceptance over Enosh.
Oh wow.
Jeez. He's live right now, I think.
He's live right
now.
He
And
is
this time
live
he's
right
actually
now.
on his stream versus like dipping out for 4 hours, whatever the hell that thing was. But I will say this though about Benson. Benson is he's sick right now. So everyone send well wishes towards him. He's got the coof. And feel better, buddy. Okay? Because it's just rest up and get better. We don't want you feeling iffy. So feel free to. So we might get a bit more of the snark mark, right? As the week goes on, while he's getting better. But thank you very much, Benson. We got H Barts here for $5. Then thank you. Says Harrison Ford would rather drink bleach than cameo in Boba Fett.
Oh my god.
Why I'm saying it should be Alden Ehrenreich, but everyone's
think it's
saying he's
Alden
too
Ehrenreich.
young. So
You put a little gray in it. Not even gray in his hair, man. Like you just give him a different hairstyle and
who
make
cares?
him look like.
Just to make him drop in. Who cares? Fans don't know what it means. You don't have to like put
I know.
a ton of makeup on
But
him. Or
Jenny
anything. You don't know. You'll get the
They'll be
gist.
like, who's this dude? Who's this dude that says he's Han Solo?
I just think it's really funny that like they think that I don't think they're going to pull the same trick from Mandalorian season 2. I don't think they're going to pull that twice.
I think they're just gonna do the whole. If they pull something like this, if season 2 is inevitable, if it happens, whatever happens for Boba Fett, if there is a season 2, they might pull where we see some sort of thing or hear something from something, like how they did the Boba thing in season 1, and then they like, oh, season 2. I wonder if they're gonna do that with this one, where they're like, oh, here's a little reference, a little something to go back to and see when we go to season 2. I don't know, but who knows?
I mean, it's one of those things where I don't know what they're going to do. I did want to touch upon, and we'll get to that after the Gray stuff, because I did want to talk about the ratings from last week, what we saw, and then talk about that, because I know you had some concerns about the show, whereas I don't have any concerns about it. But of course, I want to get to that though when we get later on in the episode, because that there is a new episode of Book of Boba Fett in 2.5 hours.
Right.
So that's going to be something to watch there.
Yes, and real quick, I am doing a watch party like I did for episode 1. So if you're interested
I'm
in
also
watching
doing
that
a
with
watch
me-
party for episode 2. It's gonna be on Resident Justice on YouTube.
I'll tell you,
Kaden.
I will probably not be watching it over there. And I say that just because last week I was like, because there's that delay.
No, I completely understand.
And that's not your fault. That's
It's
StreamYard
all
and whatever.
RJ's fault.
and it's and I want to watch it because I ended up watching the episode a couple times this week, and I really, really like it.
His cloud chasing days are coming for him.
No, that's fine. He's got good cloud chasing days. H Bar's here for $5 more, man. Thank you. Says people say Ray Fisher stood his ground and left Flash on his own, but I found a post he said he was fired. Double standards. I don't know about the post where he said he was fired.
It's very confusing if he was fired or he.
I think what it was is he was offered the role, and I think he turned it down. And that's kind of like it's not the same as let's say Gina Carano, who they just decided to not renew the contract. They were offering him the role as kind of a quid pro quo thing, right? Like you shut your mouth, you get this role, blah, blah, blah. They wanted to make it all go away. And look, that's the company's prerogative to do that. HR does that shit all the time because their job is to protect the company. Now, Ray turned that down, and honestly, good for Ray. Good for Ray. But he posted that weird thing today about like
I was very confused on what he was
the Hollywood Reporter thing. Yeah, about saying the Snyder Cut came out in March, and execs breathed a sigh of relief. It's like, but then they go, the subs were up. But then if you look at that trajectory where March was on that graph, it was like March and then April, which is when Mortal Kombat came out, which was the highest viewed of everything. So for the year, it was in April. So it's kind of a weird. I don't know what he was doing with that. I don't know what he was trying to argue.
I'm Confucius.
Yeah, it was a little bit weird. I don't know if that was like his whole thing was like, oh, I'm bringing receipts because like he was responding to the one woman from THR about that. No idea.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, it's just that's kind of a wait and see situation. I don't know what Ray's up to.
I do want to be like, hey Ray, what do you mean by this? What you mean? Like, give us like a little paragraph on what you mean by this. Like,
yeah, it's we'll have to. Yeah, I hopefully with any luck we'll get something out of we'll get we'll end up getting all that. I don't know. We'll find out more. Hold on here. Fourth for $10, buddy. Thank you. Says, why can't we go back to the good old days when Star Wars fan bullied Jack Lloyd and Jar Jar actor to drugs and near suicide? You guys went too soft on Rose Tico. She's still working. Step it up.
Oh my god! Wasn't it like Grace Randolph part of that whole like hate campaign?
So in 2018 she did do a video where when Kelly Marie Tran quit Twitter over the harassment she was getting, and you had Grace basically go, well, she knew what she was getting into when she took on the role of being in Star Wars. It was very much an odd way of trying to say, well, she was either asking for it or it was her fault. And that's the equivalent of saying like, well, it's what she was wearing. She was asking for it, which is totally fucked up.
Yeah.
Totally fucked up. And that, that's one of Grace's hot takes. And Grace has had many hot takes over the years.
Really horrible hot takes too. I mean, let's be fair.
I want more straight white women representation.
Remember when she also hated the new Rambo movie and said it was racist or something?
Oh yeah. Yeah. You know what? I went and saw that movie after that, and I walked out and I was all like, I was really I did not see that. I just saw him killing a whole bunch of very bad people and doing it very, very, very
Remember
violently.
when she said that Pedro Pascal hated working on Mando because he had to wear the helmet?
Yeah, never mind. Even though
down on it,
I know.
Remember when the first trailer came out, she dropped that scoop saying that Pedro Pascal and the Mandalorian character was only going to be in the first half of season 2, and the rest of the season was going to be about different characters. None of that happened. None of that happened.
And she said now she's saying that season 3 is the last season, and then the next season or like the next show that he'll appear in, it's like a Mandalore show, so he'll only be in like in every other episode or something.
Well, to be fair, Star Wars Only has also said that he came out with that months ago.
Oh, he did.
And so I mean, something on that front. I don't know. I don't honestly. There was another bit of Star Wars tea that she dropped today, talking about how that they want Ezra to be Middle Eastern, that they haven't cast Mina Masad in the role, and that they are still casting for Thrawn, and Thrawn's going to be the main antagonist in the Ahsoka show.
I mean,
So
we already know that Thrawn was going to be the main antagonist, and we also obviously
yeah,
heard
you don't
rumblings
fucking
of
name drop
Boris
Thrawn.
being- Yeah, you don't just. The thing is, like people like people are like, oh, and also like because I remember seeing this like the casting grid for Thrawn and Ezra, and they were using like Morai and some other names for like as cover up names, and then when they came out with Boris or Barris Offie, I was like, oh, that's just Sabine. Like literally the description was Sabine straight up. There was no like, and it was like 20, 25-year-old or like 25, 30-year-old. Like, I'm like, if Barris is in this, they'd be looking for a 45, 50-year-old. They ain't looking for no young Barris to be like a recurring role in this. Unless like, and they were talking about flashbacks in the description. Usually they make it clear if it's a flashback role, but they didn't. So it was like, oh, that's Sabine. Like I was like, that's Sabine. But everyone's like, oh, it's Barris Offie, it's Barris Offie. Like, no. And look, Sabine has been casted. So I was just like, yeah, no, I don't think Barris Offie's in this show.
No, I don't know what's gonna happen with it just yet. But I mean, I would rather not harass anyone who works on anything because they're just paid. They're paid.
Yeah.
They're a paid talent to be there. So obviously there's that. Saggy here has
Her
said
song is complete.
Yeah.
She's
Okay.
a
Can you?
new-
I'm logged into my alt account because I'm blocked by Grace. Can you post that in the private chat and I'll bring it up and play it?
Yes, I will do that right now.
Okay, because I don't. Well, maybe it'll pop up in my. Oh no! Wait! Oh no! I found it. Hold on here. Oh my god! I haven't listened to this yet. I have not listened to this yet. I do not know what's going to be in this. This is all.
It's only a minute long.
It's only a minute long. It's all she needs. And
oh my god.
All right. So this is a song. Wait, hold on. This is a song called We Don't Talk About Jarbo. It is a parody of We Don't Talk About Bruno from the movie Encanto. And here's the thing, the Saggy Melons. I haven't heard this. God fucking help us all.
I'm scared.
I am too.
I'm scared too. We're all scared. Oh.
Uh-oh.
We don't talk about Jarbo. We don't talk about Jarbo. But it was Zack Snyder day. We were getting ready, and after 4 hours went by. Jarbo walks in, inside the verses dead. It's dead. Jarbo's ahead of goodbye.
Sorry, Jarbo, you're
Jarbo
wrong.
says the fans are insane.
Why did he tell us?
Doing so he loves our brain.
He is a strange fella.
The Snyder fans won't be the same.
What a stupid thing to say.
We don't talk about Jarbo.
Oh my god.
No,
We don't talk about Jarbo.
Oh my god.
That is hilarious.
That was great. That was great.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
Go and check out Saggy's channel if you are looking for a laugh on that one. And thank you very much, Saggy, for
Jarbo.
We don't talk about Jarbo. No. There we go.
He told us that we were insane.
Yeah. Anyway, I found a video of me doing that to my daughter, my 4-year-old, when she was
God.
2, and I'm all like, and she was just like, cackling her ass off because she is a kid. So yeah, there we go. Geeks, thank you, Geeks, for posting Saggy's YouTube channel. Be sure to check that out. Tony here says the things that happen in this stream. Like I've said multiple times, you will not get an experience anywhere else on YouTube like you will find here on Hollywood After Dark. Hands fucking down. I say
Hollywood
that.
After Dark is Hollywood After Dark for a reason.
It is. Everyone else should just get the fuck out of my way. That's all I'm going to say on that one. There's my ego. There's my ego. And I can make it
The
work.
laugh that Jarvis did is Willie the Woodpecker.
Yeah, that's right.
So if you
You
don't know
imagine
that, you're in
what
culture.
yeah, what I did do that one. What's the crusty laugh though?
The
It's been a while
crusty
since
laugh.
the Krusty the Clown laugh. It's been a while.
I know.
Danny here says, glad you started this. Me too.
You know,
Reed here says, I can't agree. Damn straight. Damn straight. And then, but all right. It's so crash. I don't know what that means, but thank you. Is it cool trash? Is that what it means? But I don't know. I don't know what the kids are saying these days, you guys. I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about some Grace Randolph, right? Because we talk about Grace Randolph here. And this is what got her in a lot of trouble.
I put it in the group chat they're all in, but I said Grace basically chose violence today. Like, she came hard, she came fast, and she dropped the mic.
Oh yeah, she did. She very much did. Hold on. I guess H Bar's left the super chat. Oh right, sorry. He says here, RJ looks like he wants to ask me if I want a subscription to Game Informer. With your logo right there. That's there we go. Damn it. Yeah. All right. So here is what Grace had said. Ben Affleck doesn't want to come back. Henry Cavill ain't getting invited back for reasons I've already told you countless times that are as much on him as Warner Brothers. You guys are hoping for something that is an impossibility. You just got to move on. And a lot of people really got mad at that. Really got mad. Look at this here. She got 383 quote tweets.
Uh-huh.
Like the crazy thing is, like,
happy.
Another thing, like,
the gift choose from Liar Liar.
Right.
Yeah.
I also, like, funny thing is that, like, people were like, oh, Henry Cavill can just cameo. Like, did you guys realize that the reason why that we didn't see Superman's face in Shazam was two reasons: because scheduling conflicts, and also Henry Cavill does not want to be a cameo role in anything he does. He wants to be a supporting or leading role. So
I don't blame him. I don't blame him one bit.
He doesn't want to get Ruffalo to where the Hulk has only been supporting roles. He doesn't want.
Well, that's a contractual thing though. That's a rights. That's a rights thing.
But if you remember, Deadline, I think in like 2020, so there was a possibility they wanted him to be like the Hulk and just have cameo roles in other people's movies. He's like, why am I going to do that? You know, that's why those talks fell through. Probably is because he doesn't want to be a supporting character. It's Superman, for God's sakes. He's a leading character.
Yeah.
No, you are right. You are absolutely right on that one. I mean, Superman is a leading character,
so
and that is a problem.
Movie, if he's going to be in any movie, it's like as a main or supporting. It's obviously is either his own movie, or Black Adam 2, or Shazam 3, and those are the only three. Other than that, and or Justice League 2.
Well, I think it's going to be. I think we're going to see him in the Shazam side of things because that's a new line, and that's through $7 Productions. Yeah. And I think if he comes back at all, that is where it's going to be. But Grace did follow that up with saying here, maybe Robert Pattinson's Batman universe will get expanded and we'll get a new Superman there. Lots of possibilities. My favorite though was this one here from Mercury, who has just been losing his shit over this all fucking day. Saying here, you're telling the people that asked for an Impossible movie 4 years ago, for 4 years straight, to move on. And then she said, I was the one who told people that in November, when there was legitimately a chance the Snyder Cut could happen, if they tweeted, because I knew what was happening behind the scenes. And I'm telling you now, after that amazing achievement, there is no more road left. It's not only her, to be fair. I think Mikey Sutton also said.
Well, that was shocking. I mean, like, not only because she replied to Mercury, of all people, who is kind of like a figurehead in this movement right now, just the way she worded that, basically saying, dude, it's done. Like, to see Grace, of all people, say that.
Yeah, I want to. So then here we go. Then he responds, Grace, almost every step.
Bunch, by the way.
Oh, I know he did. Oh,
I mean,
I know. Oh, this is what he does. He's terminally online. This is a guy who's terminally online. He says, almost every step of the way, Ben being Batman, he has said no until he was convinced by Zach. If Supergirl and The Flash isn't received well, like we saw when your tweet got destroyed in the replies and quote retreats, I think it's impossible for Henry to be asked back. But none of that fucking matters, dude. None of that.
Like the people that were mad about Supergirl aren't the people that are going to be like watching this because of.
Well, that's odd logic to say. Well, if there's online backlash,
the people that hated Supergirl, that was like 10, 15 people that were making other 10, 15 people mad. So like 45 people are mad that Supergirl is in this movie. Oh no, like it's not going to receive well. Like, what type of logic is that?
Yeah. Like, well, I mean, it's really weird.
45 people. 45 people. Screw off. Like,
I know. And then people are trying to bring up old tweets, saying like the deal could be done. And she's like, that was over a year ago. And that's the thing. Things have a tendency of changing.
Article is about a cameo role.
Yeah.
And the thing, like I said before, Henry Cavill doesn't want to be a cameo role. So I'm sure that deal that was him to do an appearance in the movie, they were like, oh, let's have a cameo role for you. And he was like, no. And he's like, well, that's the deal you have right now. And he's like, but you said an appearance. And they're like, yeah, an appearance means cameo. You signed it. So whenever you're free to do a cameo, let us know. And clearly he hasn't told them when he's free. So
yeah, well, they shoot The Witcher, I think, in Prague.
Yeah.
So, and that's like a 6-month shoot right there. And I think they just wrapped up filming Argyle as well.
Yeah, they just wrapped up filming Argyle.
That shot over the fall.
Yeah, and he's like the second character in that, and
no, he's the main character in that.
No,
he
Bryce
is Argyle.
Dallas Howard is the main character.
No,
He's
Bryce Dallas Howard is not the main character. He is the male lead in that movie. He's the main character in that movie. Bryce Dallas Howard is good. Yes, we've already gone over this.
We have.
Caden.
We have. Okay.
It's not like she's the female lead. He's the male lead, but he plays Argyle. It wouldn't be like a book called Bond and like it's about fucking Moneypenny. You know what I mean? It's just not going to happen. I mean, again, I look, it's Matthew Vaughn. It's got an all-star cast, a $200 million budget.
Hey. And he's going to start that little franchise there on Apple TV with
which I have to get Apple TV now to get. There's a lot of stuff going on there. Anyway, Grace got kind of hit pretty hard today with everything. And so she said, the final thing I'm going to say, there are some who's, and I love this, there are some whose entire identity is wrapped up in the Snyderverse hype, so they'll never let it go, never stop giving you hope, but for the very wrong reasons. You don't have to like or support the new DCEU, but you should realize what's happening. And here's the thing.
She's 100% right.
100% right here.
100%.
That is a mic drop tweet right there, and she's 100% right. That is straight up facts. What she said there. You can disagree with everything else she said about it not continuing, but that tweet right there, that is factual. That is 100% accurate to the situation we currently find ourselves in.
Oh yeah. So then, of course, she's got, again, not as many quote tweets, but I'm actually kind of curious what these quote tweets say. Let's see here. Of course,
Mina Bassoon actually replied to that tweet saying thank you for always supporting Grace.
Oh, good. I hope he gets this right.
Yeah.
Here's this guy here. Me, an MCU fan, enjoying the DC fan explosion. I actually think the Flash seems fun, and that's kind of Thanos. All right, whatever, buddy.
All right, you're a Thanos person. Get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here. Get out of here. Go back to Hawkeye. LMAO, this tweet confirm anything. Apparently they weren't expecting the general audience to be mad at the Flash leaks. Now they blame Snyder fans, but the general audience doesn't pay attention to this shit though.
No, they don't.
They really don't.
If they did, then they would there'll be a lot more people on Twitter talking about this. And also a lot.
But Twitter, but again, here's the thing. Twitter, 340 million accounts worldwide. Facebook and YouTube, over 2 billion. So it's
Twitter
like
doesn't make up the general audience.
Twitter is not the general audience. Like Facebook,
Twitter's not real life.
It's not. It's not really.
Mercury, it is.
Well, Mercury needs to go out and find a genital to engage with. I don't know what he's into. But the guy needs to get laid.
I believe he's gay. Then
someone needs to just booty slap that prostate, man. Just finally let that dude nut. Let that dude nut and just let him be good. Let him be good.
Let him bust. Let him bust.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, let him be.
Button. What?
I know.
Okay.
Okay.
Just
here we go. Here we go. J's for the Snyderverse. What the? I don't know what that means. J's. Yeah,
so
is that
a name with the J?
Or is that a Jewish thing? I don't know. I dare you, Grace Randolph, save a second and analyze. Spelled analyze wrong. What you've just said. It says analyze. Annalise.
All right.
Is he asking her to put all of this in her butt?
Analyze.
Can you scan it with your anus? Just scoot across it.
Just put your butt on the phone or computer and look at this tweet. It's
no.
Let's see here. All right. After everything, do you really want us to believe it's over and give up? If Zack Snyder himself says have hope, who are you to say otherwise? To the fan base, never compromise. All right. So again, we don't know. Was this from today?
No.
Right. Okay.
I think that was the one that we Oh no,
This
one
is
we
the
talked
one
about.
from I think like
Yeah.
Christmas or whatever.
Yeah, this is the one that like it was like the 23rd, and it was like him at the ski resort. Like,
Yeah.
and obviously, like you said before, he's not talking about. He's talking about.
This is anti-suicide
ASSP,
stuff right here.
anti-suicide,
Yeah, this is anti-suicide stuff.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people need to realize that. It's like, I am losing hope. Don't lose
Like-
hope. Should we?
Yeah,
Is it time to lose hope? Never. It's like he's not
Don't lose
talking
hope.
about stuff. Yeah.
Don't lose hope on your life, because he knows that this Snyderverse is their life. So he's like, I ain't letting you guys lose hope on your life.
Jarrett here says the Snyderverse is really morphing into QAnon. We have a name for them. They're called Qborg.
Yeah, it's called Q-Board.
Snyder Bros.
Q-Board.
I mean, that's the thing,
Yeah.
right? It's like, that's why I say what Grace said, and I feel like that's being lost amongst everything else. Everyone's focusing on her statements about her believing the Snyderverse not continuing and saying that it's time to move on. Nobody's actually focusing on the actual message, her final message.
Right.
Her final message is what I believe to be a strong, definitive statement for the state of things right now that everybody's ignoring. Nobody's focusing on this post. They're all focusing on the other stuff. This is what the message should be after today, right? Because I don't know, Matt, if you feel the same way. This might be a little controversial. I'm not trying to ruffle some feathers, but I'll just say this. I feel
Where
like
the fuck are you? Like, do
I
you
know,
know where
I
you
know.
are?
Do you know where you are?
I'm just saying. I feel like she's calling out some scoopers out there, some other scoopers. Okay, I
True.
feel like she's calling out some people who kind of perpetuate their own agenda when it comes to how they want to report on the Snyderverse, and we don't know if their information's correct. But I feel like this is a call out post for Silla Abdul and Mikey Sutton.
You know what? I don't disagree with you on that one. As I've said, I've got
Well, not specifically
my own
them,
thoughts
but
on some
people
things.
People like them and other people in the family.
Well, the people, but the thing is though, in the scoop game, that is the people. Like right now, if you look at all the scoopers that are trying to the only scooper, I'm sorry, Sil Abdul is not a scooper. He's not a scooper. All right.
No,
Like
he's a reiterator.
he's just like, he's a guy who reads you somebody else's writings. All right. Like the rest of us. Okay. That's all, but he's not a scooper. And so the scooper is Mikey, and Mikey is saying, that it's continuing. And you know what? Like,
what? If he's right, then he's right. If he's not, then
if he's
not.
right, he's right. I would say, as I always say, take with a grain of salt, and whatever articles he links to, as a reference, go and read those articles. Don't just take his word for it. You shouldn't even take my word for everything or anyone else's word for anything. Go and follow it directly to its source, because you might have a different interpretation of what is said in there. And I have. There's been times he speculated on something that I've had a different take on, and that's fine. So I would recommend you guys do that. It's especially the one now where I think an article he put out yesterday, talking about, the Ezra Miller stuff. If you go and you follow that, or maybe it's Cabot coming back, I'm not too sure. You can follow it through to an interview with David Goyer that I find to be really fascinating, and how he framed it versus what was said. And I did send that off to his people yesterday, to let them know there might be a misinterpretation, and they haven't updated it. Haven't heard anything back yet today. You know what? Again, benefit of the doubt is might have just been a misinterpretation, but again, follow the thing. Follow the sources through. That's my whole point. Follow the sources. Because if you follow the sources, then you're going to be able to get to the bottom of it and have your own informed opinion, and not just go into the echo chamber. You want somebody to tell you exactly how you should, to agree with you, because that's literally what's happening.
Again, I'm not trying to attack Silla or Mikey. I just feel like the show that they have is a bit of an echo chamber for the hardcore Snyderist. It's just the way it is, right? I mean, I literally have to combat misinformation, because some people act like what they say is a definitive fact, when it's simply not. But people act like it is. But they'll say that what Grace says is obviously a lie. There's a double standard out there between what Sil and Grace put out, when it's like, you shouldn't trust scoopers ever. Like, take everything with a grain of salt, but some people don't want to do that because they want to agree with whatever confirms their confirmation bias. That's the problem.
Well, I mean, a lot of us do that as well. Okay,
No,
there's
of course.
that's a fair way of looking at it. A lot of us do the same thing as well. You know,
I know,
H-Art's here
it's
asking.
not me trying to attack Syl or Mikey.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to do
yeah.
that.
Well, asking if me, no, I'm not attacking Mikey. I don't care about Syl. I'm not going to pretend I do. Like, I don't care. I think there's a lot of misinformation that goes on, or a lot of purposeful misconstruing of information that I think stems from him, and I think he does it because that's where his bread is buttered. That's how I view it. You know, that's how I view it. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna hide how I feel about it. That's how I view it. It's not like, you know, when he goes out there, he's acting as either a buffer or claiming, oh, we reported on this. Like, no, you didn't report on it. Your name's not on the article. You know, you didn't do that. And we got into it last week on Twitter, and he basically admitted that the stuff that he posts that's members only, and I'm not a fan of the paywalled content personally. And the way that he, you know, it's a lot of that stuff is just, again, it's Mikey's info that gets repackaged and then put behind a paywall. And a lot of people, I personally, I'm like
sporadically or whatever.
Yeah, and I'm not a fan. I think it causes, I don't know. That's my take on that. I don't like paywalled scoops. Sorry, I don't. All right, I don't like paywalled scoops. That's my take on it. But again, you can read the articles. You can read Geekosity. You can read Murphy's Multiverse. You can read the Cosmic Circus. You can read the Direct. You can read Megabyte. Whatever it is you want to read that tells, you know, that you get your info from. All I'm saying is take it with a grain of fucking salt. If you come here, my opinion is biased and I make jokes. Take what I say with a grain of salt, especially if you don't agree with me. I'm okay with being challenged. I think it's fun to be challenged. You know, but at the same time, yeah, that's where I'm at with that shit. Anyway. So, but I think the Grace thing too, take Grace with a grain of salt.
Yeah, no, she said some really dumb, stupid stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
And again, like, by the way, I love how Josh thinks that's actually Austin.
I'm Austin.
No, it's not actually Austin.
Batwheels.
No, it's not actually Austin.
Oh my god, Batwheels is gonna be terrible.
Right. I'm just saying.
Ethan Hawke will be the best Batman ever.
I feel like a lot of people are acting like hypocrites over this. Here's the thing. Grace is not paid off by Warner Brothers. She's not a corporate shill for Warner Brothers. She's not a Hamada shill. You guys, people need to remove emotion from this and just look at what's being said. She is reporting what she's being told. Now, you can choose to believe her or not, but she has no motivation to report this to purposely piss off people. Okay? Because, let's be honest, Matt, and I don't know if you'll agree with me on this, I feel like a lot of her audience is predominantly DC fans, and she has a lot of Snyder fans in her community. Why would she purposely want to piss them off? Why would she purposely want them to go away from her channel or view her as incredible?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. I don't see Grace as. I mean, look, I don't know if Grace is. She's got maybe social issues, right? Like social learning issues. Maybe she doesn't read the room very well, and she just kind of says what's on her mind and doesn't think much about it. But like, yeah, a lot of her audience is DC. A lot of her audience is comic book in general. So I don't think she would want to say anything that would get people to. No, don't get me wrong. She gets pretty block heavy on Twitter, and that's always pretty funny.
Funny thing is, so I like my block. The reason why I was blocked was because this is like a year. I think it was like 2019, 2020, whatever it was. No, 2020. It was when like the whole like cast and culture nerd was around, and it was like I was one of the people that believed them at that time, and it was like when they culture nerd released that Ben Affleck signs deal to reprise his role in whatever thing, and Grace was like, "That's not true." I'm like, "Yeah, it is," and like that's the reason why I got blocked. So I'm like, I got blocked for a dumbass reason.
Well, I mean, like, look, the thing is, you know, Grace is Grace. I don't know why she blocked me. I've been critical of her, but I thought I was always kind of being friendly and whatever. But no, she blocked me. That's okay. I'm blocked by a lot of people. Can't be a Christian Harloff. Like, I'm blocked by a lot of people.
I'm blocked by Andy Signor,
and that's
which I'm
okay.
happy about, though. I'm happy that I'm blocked by Andy.
Like, and I'm blocked by Andy Signor too, and that's all right. I don't care. Block me, unblock me, whatever. Like, I have an alt account. I'll log into my alt account.
Right.
And
Exactly.
this is not. I don't think any of us here are going to be defending Grace and saying Grace is right. Grace is innocent.
Well, now there is a person that kind of is, and that is Viewer Anon here. And Viewer Anon has been chiming in a little bit by talking about this, right? And he posted about this just on January 1st. saying that like, look, he thinks that Grace knows about the movie. He says, I think Grace knows more about the movie in its current form than I do, and talking about the Flash, and
about Henry Cavill, correct?
About Henry Cavill and everything else, right? Oh yeah, Cavill and so like viewer non is kind of backing her up, and that's kind of a thing.
And viewer
You
non's
also
pretty credible.
I
know some people have been saying, well, Sil and Mikey reported on this information 10 months ago. They're only just now hopping on it. I don't understand.
That's such a weird thing to say in my mind.
It is. And here's the thing, too. No one's been able to provide me with an adequate explanation for why exactly two separate scoopers, My Time to Shine Hello and Viewer Anon, would jump
and Casey Walsh.
And Casey Walsh. Thank you, Katie.
Casey Walsh, a big person who does not like Geekosity or Sil or Mikey.
Right. Like, why would all of these people jump on this story to, as some people have said, including Sil and Mikey, jump on the bandwagon to copy what Grace is saying for internet attention? It makes no sense. My Time to Shine Hello is a Marvel scooper. She doesn't get involved with DC. I mean, maybe her you could suspect a little bit, but even Viewer Anon recently just defended My Time to Shine Hello, actually. I don't know if you saw that, Matt, but...
No. I mean, like...
I'm just saying, there's no motivation. I don't understand. I'm just.
They're trying to grasp the audience again. They're trying to grasp the Snyder and DC audience.
Here's another thing that Casey brought up today, saying here, guys, people internally have seen the Flash, whether a rough cut, assembly cut, or variations in between. They are currently working on a cut for test audiences, and people are editing it and watching it every day. This is how movies are made, exactly. And so I think this is the word that's getting out. But look, I do want to move on to the next topic, but I will bring up a very interesting image that I found that I kind of feel might give a little bit of explanation on maybe where some of this is coming from. And again, you can take this with a grain of salt, and I want you to take this with a grain of salt. This is simply a theory. I have no evidence to back it up, but kind of a thing here. Why would a person? This was, by the way, this was at the New York premiere of Army of the Dead. Mm-hmm. Or this is in New York last year, May of last year. Yep. Grace with Deborah and Zach, and Zach has been interviewed by.
We saw Zach and Deborah.
Yes,
that night they disappeared.
Grace consumed them. But no, Zach was interviewed by Grace multiple times last year, not only for the Snyder Cut but Army of the Dead. They clearly are friends or friendly. And I speculated this, I believe, last night. I speculated this where I had suggested that what if the person who is giving this information to Grace is Zack Snyder himself? Because Zack will not come out and say it, but Zack knows it's done. And if Zack knows that it's done, could Zack be like, look, just feed this information out there?
Hey, he could have got that phone call and be like saying, hey, we're not going to continue this.
Yeah, and that way he doesn't have to come out and say anything. He doesn't have to have it. He doesn't lose any face. Grace doesn't mind because she can turn that into something that she can put into a video and make a little bit of money on.
To be honest, I'm shocked Grace hasn't made a video yet, to be honest. I'm shocked she hasn't made a video about this at all. She's really only done the movie Matt stuff the last couple of videos she's done. I figured she would have jumped on this Flash stuff right away.
Because, I mean, everyone's making a video about what she's saying, so it's just doing...
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, there's... Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of surprised. Maybe a video will come tomorrow. I don't quite know. Because I haven't left the house much in the last 2 weeks because of the snow, haven't really watched a lot because usually I do most of my video watching when I'm out driving around. But that's kind of like, look, I don't know if that is the case or not. It's a theory, right? Watcher here disagrees, says I don't think that's it. I mean, look, sure, it could be or it could not be. That's the whole thing. If I were in Zach's position, this is what I would do. Because if I wanted to get the word out without directly being attached to it, I would go through a third party with a nearly million subbed YouTube channel with a massive audience on Twitter who could put this information out there in a way that would convey it controversially to where no one would ever once suspect that it would ever lead back to me. It's the smartest play. Is to be that informant without ever having to actually be that informant. Can you guys think about? I mean, wouldn't Zach have a good idea on what's going on? Wouldn't he have the inside track on what's going on?
I'm sure.
I'm sure he's talked to people.
I'm sure.
Isn't he a producer on The Flash?
I think he's executive producer, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he would know what's going on.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure he's and also I'm sure Ben Affleck has told him, like, they're friends. Ezra and Zach are friends. I'm sure Ezra has talked to Zach as well and be like, hey, we're gonna do this. Like, I'm sure Ezra, like, even though Zack Snyder's not creatively or officially creative or professionally creative involved, I'm sure Ezra has asked him, like, saying, hey, like, can I have your, like, opinion on this, or like
Yeah.
whatever. I'm sure Ben also said that too for his send off in this movie. So, uh, I'm sure Zach has an idea of what's happening in this movie, um, and and I'm sure, or even even also with Ray Fisher. Ray Fisher has an old script of this, like before Cyborg was written out of it, and I'm sure he has an idea what's going on. So I'm sure he also talked to Zach. So I'm sure Zach knows someone in this movie, or knew someone that was in this movie that he can talk to. I'm sure he's like, yeah, like, it seems like my stuff may not be moving forward, and I'm sure he's totally fine with it because he has stuff to do with Netflix.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I talked about before. And I know a lot of people like to make the claim, you know, oh, well, we get, oh, but it's only a 2-year first look deal where you've got two
But
feature
2 years
films
turned to
that are
5 real quick.
well, yeah, by the time he finishes Planet of the Dead and Rebel Moon, that is going to be 5 years.
Yeah,
And never
by the
mind,
time, and
Which
also
is
by
a
the
lot
time,
of time that
and the
people I don't
anime
think put into
and
perspective.
the animation stuff, like, and
Mhm.
also he may produce more projects for Rebel Moon. He might do Rebel Moon 2, and like make this whole, like, he wants to create a Star Wars for Netflix with this stuff. So obviously he's going to expand on that. So
Create his own
it's
saga.
not, yeah, exactly, create his own
Which is
saga.
great. I'm excited for that.
And by the time he's done with Netflix, I'm sure he wants to retire. So, like, dude's gonna be a lot of stress in these next couple of years because he's doing filming back to back and all these productions back to back like crazy. So I'm sure he
Yeah,
wants to retire when he's done.
it's
So,
pretty crazy stuff right there, obviously. And I mean,
Yeah.
look, it's I want to see, you've got the 2 animated shows and whatever else comes along, because I'm pretty sure Netflix is going to be like, well, look, man, 78 million people watched Army of the Dead, 72 million people watched Army of Thieves. So it's like
who
they
knows how many
did
people watch
really well.
Rebel Moon and
Yeah. There's a
Planet
lot
Dead.
of great stuff
Like,
coming down the pipeline, and I hope that people are, support those
Supporting it.
projects. I hope they do well. And obviously, if the time schedule allows Zach to do it, then I'm sure he would take the opportunity if he could. But it seems like he's very much going to be booked.
Yeah,
Even if
booked
you
and
want to
busy,
do something
which is
really
good.
bad, it's just about timing.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about being booked and busy, and if he's booked and busy, that's probably fine. That's what you should always think of people working in Hollywood. You should always be happy that people are booked and busy, and I'm happy Zach is booked and busy at Netflix, as he should. Like,
But
yeah.
unfortunately, a lot of other people out there are just going to have a little bit of trouble with that, because they
Yeah, they need
because they
copium-
want it, and there's
copium.
passion there. There's
Copium.
passion there, and I get that.
Copium.
A lot of copium, a little bit of hopium rolled on in. It's a kind of a
Yeah.
double dose sort of thing there.
Here's some
Although,
copium and hopium.
yeah, Rational here says, do you think these scoopers will apologize if they're wrong? No.
Some of them would, but some of them won't.
It all depends on what they're wrong on and how much
Yeah,
they stake claim on it.
Right. And I also think with Grace, she might just change it, but like, oh, it was just part of test screenings and part of the old plans and stuff. Like, she always finds a way to make an excuse for it. But people who, like, I've I talked to on Spaces before, Casey Walsh, and talked privately. He says if he's ever wrong, he will straight up say he's wrong. And I'm sure if he's wrong here, he'll
Sadly,
straight up
not a
say
lot
he's
of
wrong.
scoopers will do that, and sadly, I don't
Yeah.
think a lot of scoopers would apologize if they're wrong. Though they just move
No,
on to
because
the next thing.
It's if your primary bread and butter is scooping, why would you apologize? Why would you ever say that you're wrong? I'm not even making that up. I'm not even being facetious when I say that. Like, literally, if your entire job is being the person with the inside info, why would you ever, you would just ignore it if you're wrong, and you would just keep moving on. You'd play what you got right, and you would ignore what you got wrong. And that's what a lot of these people end up doing is they end up playing up a lot of this kind of stuff. You know, it's like there's a lot of people out there that like to, again, they criticize
it after.
They delete it afterward. Yeah, they delete a little bit of it afterward, you know, but the internet is forever and people pay attention.
But you can go on the Wayback Time Machine and find it. So
you can see, you can see a lot back there with the internet Wayback Machine. That's all it really boils down to. I don't see a lot of them apologizing because that shows in this space that actually shows weakness. You would think that would show integrity, but it doesn't, because what you're operating on are information that is supposedly behind the scenes. So if you're given bad intel, look at it like this: John Campea tried to apologize for what happened, but he botched that apology so bad, you know, by going, look at Tobey Maguire's dick, you know, like he's like, I didn't know, and blah blah blah, and like, no, the fucker knew exactly what he was doing.
That dick looked fake to me.
Yeah,
I didn't know that dick was real.
Look at the outlines. Look at the outlines.
That doesn't look like mine.
Yeah, I can't tell. Is he cut, uncut? What's going on? You know, but it's like, but that's kind of the whole point. That's kind of the whole point here is on that front.
Wire? Is that someone's?
Is that a stunt
double with Tobey Maguire's face on it? Who knows?
Campy's like, well, it wasn't the exact shot. It was a little different. If you tilt his head just up a little bit, you know, the cock was a little too small. You know.
He's like, my wife does cosplay, so she's really trying to figure out the dimensions for my Halloween costume.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying they probably have very interesting sex life. That's probably very true.
They probably do.
Have you ever seen her dressed as Luigi?
We already know.
Like his wife is like, I've saw like photos of her and her sister dressed as Mario and Luigi. God. And I'm like, okay.
Was he Waluigi?
He might be. He might be. I don't know. All right. Let's see. Yeah. Tony here says Doomcock and Geeks and Gamers never apologizes for their shit. Exactly.
Yeah.
They never apologize for their shit.
Because they said in the beginning, take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, that's how you get around it. That's how you get around it is like that.
Or say plans have changed.
Yeah, and the thing is, how are you ever going to fucking confirm? Like, how are you ever going to confirm plans have changed? You were just never going to. So let's move on from that because I just want to make sure I caught up on all the super chats here. Okay, let's see here. Andrew here says the Jarbo, that is not how you reach the prostate. It's through the butt and to the left, buddy. Yeah, that's how you reach the prostate.
God. Okay.
Only men have prostates. Only men have prostates. Sorry. Biological males have prostates. I don't know what you gender identify as, but you know, what? That's true. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the whole. Well, reach around is if you're. I mean that would be double. I don't know. I always feel like a reach around is like, unless you have the arm length to do it, you're kind of like playing with fire. Because like, I mean, just imagine like, I want you to like place yourself over a barrel and then try to see if you could reach around the front of that barrel. It may be a little bit on the difficult side. I don't know how functional reach arounds are, but then again, I don't watch that kind of material. So I don't have a reference point.
With the video of someone doing that and then them basically pulling out the person's like it was me like explaining it is bringing flashbacks.
Hold on, Caden, wait. You're like, I was watching a video and like this guy was pulling out and then I don't let's move on from that one because I think you might have just kind of put yourself in there. H-Bart's here for $2 though. What did Cavill do? Shit in Hamada's cereal?
Apparently
he's supposed to use a bit of a diva on set.
I've heard he's really nice, but I think what happened is I think it's Danny Garcia. I think it's Danny Garcia. I think the whole Shazam fall apart because keep in mind that was she like The Rock was a producer on Shazam. He is represented by Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia co-runs also $7 production with her brother Hiram. And who have you noticed they're now trying to turn Hiram into a super producer? Yeah. Have you noticed all this press about Hiram? Like, dude, like no one cares about Hiram Garcia.
Has been in big headlines recently. I was like, I noticed that. Like before it was Danny The Rock, but now it's Hiram. I'm just like, that's interesting.
He's the fall guy.
Cool.
He's the fall guy.
He is the fall guy.
He's going to be, because they don't want anything to negatively impact The Rock. So if a movie fails, they don't want The Rock to be impacted. Yeah, it's producer Hiram. You know, and The Rock could just go, he's my former brother-in-law. You know, you got to be family. Family.
Oh, God. No.
He said family.
I don't think he'll ever say because it's family. Because, you know, he'll be like bringing back flashbacks of Vin Diesel. He's like, no. It's all about power. He wants to stay hungry so he can devour. He puts in
God.
He puts in the hours. He takes what's his.
What was that? What was that? That thing? The Rock song, but gay. The thing from that Derek Blackman did.
Genuine question: do you think they'll put that song in the movie Black Adam?
No.
No, I don't think that.
Not even
if they do that, I will be like, I'll close my computer and throw it across the street, and I'll be like,
they should put that song in the end credits. They really should. It'd be
They
amazing.
should not do anything of the sort.
I will say, well, what was I going to say?
It'll probably be in Young Rock, but not in the Black Adam movie. It'll probably be part of his like presidential campaign and the
there we go. No, Max. I sent Max a link for Max to come on. Frost Family Takeover says Jarbo always has fun when he diss The Rock. I'm not dissing The Rock. I'm merely pointing out. I'm just saying.
In order to diss The Rock, you have to
I'm
hate The Rock.
super happy today, and I was really confused. I thought that was Austin. I came here for Austin.
I am
Austin. No, you're not. Hey, I came here for Austin. Actually, I'm 19 subs away for before I get to 5K. So Benson's, I'm looking at you, brother. I love you, man. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God!
I wish you the best, Benson's. I know.
You're saying you're here for what now?
No, I'm here for 19 subs. No, I'm here to talk to my friends. I'm here to talk to my friends. I'm actually having fun with movie talk. I like controversial movie talk. I'm not. I mean, it wasn't my favorite.
You create the controversy, though.
No, I react.
Really? Really, Max?
No.
Really? You don't?
Yes.
You don't?
I knew people's perception of me. I am a Grace stan. I'm not mad at Grace. I was also on my friend Xenosh channel just before this. I only have a few minutes. I just wanted to pop in before I head to bed. Man, woo, Jerry over there is.
Oh yeah, Jerry, didn't you want to say something to Max on his stream that we didn't get a chance to talk about or whatever?
I don't really remember.
Okay.
Neither do I.
It was something about you two fighting or something. I want to get the popcorn out.
Oh, I think we're okay. I think.
If I'm mad at Max, I'll just call him on the phone. Like that's the thing. No, I did want to ask you, Max. Do you have a Vero account?
I might call him or make a meme.
No, I would just call you on the phone directly. You're like, I'm gonna do a whole live stream about it.
No, this is my personality. I'd rather talk it out on a live stream, unless it's extremely personal. If it's just about a movie topic and we have a disagreement, I'd rather talk about it on the live stream. Unless it's like personal business, you know.
Yeah. Real quick though, Benson with £5, man, thank you. Says if you have spent your entire life persuading people a white guy with blue eyes created a religion, you're very likely to apologize over lies regarding Snyder.
Ouch, Benson. Ouch.
Ouch, Mark.
Come on, Mark.
You know,
send a super chat not talking about that one. Listen, please. Give Matt your money. Just be nice.
Anyway. So yeah, we haven't been fighting about this stuff. Obviously
we're just wrapping up the Grace topic.
Yeah, we're just
fighting
the majority of the talk and the trending opinion and the majority of the scooper talk from their sources is that it's done. But we also, I keep thinking about, of course, at this time, 6 months before the possible merger, Walter Hamada and WB are going to go hard to show confidence like they have a plan. They do have 3 projects coming out if they could become successful. If they, like I said on my show, they don't have to meet in billion, but if they all have really solid box office in a row, then I think it is done. I think it's his Hail Mary. This is Hamada's Hail Mary.
Well, I think the Batman is the Hail Mary, to be fair.
Well, it has to be more than just the Bat, because Batman's always been successful, except for Batman
I'm
Returns.
telling you, Black
Or not,
Adam.
I mean Batman Robin.
I am telling you right now, Black Adam's going to really appeal to the foreign audiences. I guarantee it.
I hope so.
I
think
know.
it will too.
So far, though, the Flash still has an uphill battle, and
Beca-
this is not my straw polls. Other polls on the internet have
Yeah.
said that people are not
I will
interested
be.
in the Flash.
I will be
Not.
honest though, a little bit, Max. You do sometimes. You should trade your mask for a tinfoil hat. Sometimes I will say that.
I could. Why not have both? I could put a tinfoil hat on my on my Doom mask.
Or
You
can
should.
make a
You
tinfoil
should.
Doom
Doctor
mask.
Tinfoil.
Hey, or Max, you can make a tinfoil version of your mask.
Wait, can you get like a trilby and then like a sash, and then we can call you Dr. Poon?
Maybe.
Be like,
Maybe.
yo, what's up, man? My name is Max. I'm a pimp.
I'm still a Grace fan too, by the way. Listen,
Yeah, I saw some things in Enosh's chat. I'm just like, y'all gotta chill. Y'all gotta
well,
chill.
she's
What's
a
happening
top
in Enosh's
YouTuber.
chat?
Oh no,
top-
I just
top
heard a lot of people
YouTubers-
call her a shill, and this and that. It's like, well, y'all gotta chill.
Well,
Y'all gotta
Matt,
chill.
Can't you agree with this? The majority of the top YouTubers that are popular, they will go with the popular opinion to stay on top of the trends. So even if, I mean, there could be validity.
You realize positive Snyder coverage is what's popular right now, right, Max?
No, it's not.
It absolutely is.
No, for the small group in the echo chamber, yeah, you could be profitable there, but in general, no, it's trending against. The majority has flip-flopped the back direction that says it's not going to happen. It's unlikely. The majority, I completely agree that I'm in the minority on this topic. Everyone else,
No, you're not. You're not in the minority, Max. You're not in the
you're
minority.
Not in the minority.
You are definitely like, you had some of your highest viewed stream tonight.
Yeah.
And so
well, that's because people know I'm a Grace fan.
Well, no, I mean, it's like, we're talking about this right now, and like I've got 156 people watching, and I normally don't get this many. So,
Okay.
Even Enosh right now is live with 121 people, and he normally doesn't get that many.
Oh, yeah. There's better views.
So there's a
today.
lot. Dave, the film junkie, had over 300 people watching him tonight.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah, and he doesn't get that many. Like, so it's very much like
It's a
a lot
big
of people are
topic.
talking about this. People are
Yes.
really wanting to start to look at this particular situation, as I said earlier. And I wanted to ask you, because I did mention this in your chat, and I saw you brought it up on screen, but I didn't hear if you responded. What do you think of my theory that Zach is Grace's inside source? They are friends. And she probably
I
doesn't
mean,
have.
he's definitely one of her sources. I don't think that's her only source. No.
But do you think he would be the one?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Well, no, I mean, it's just, we talked about this a little bit ago, so we didn't dwell on it too much. But again, this information she seems to be dropping seems to be coming in from a very, very, very specific source.
Yeah.
And
I see that you may be alluding that Zach is giving her this info. Like, there's no route forward. I don't. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't believe that.
I think
I was also like kind of explaining.
He's also
on
still
why.
putting posts on Vero and retweeting people restore the Snyderverse.
sure. Well, he's not retweeting anything, but he might
or
liking
liking it. Yeah.
But here's the thing with that, right? Public versus private, dude. This is all politics to an extent. Zach says publicly, I'm never going to say no to a paying customer, but I'd love to come back and work on it. Publicly, the company has said, no. Zach has even said they don't want to work with me, that the Snyderverse should be what I make. That's my original content, not my adaptations. Even he's trying to distance himself from that narrative. And don't you think that it's like one of those things where he's like, maybe if I can't come out and say it myself, because he cannot come out and say it himself.
Here's something that I think that could have potentially happened recently is this Henry Cavill situation. If they say they were trying to negotiate with him, he's going to ask his fair price, and they cannot get him. If the leaks are true and he's just a cameo on a TV, and then happened with Shazam 2, we're barely, I could barely see them getting back to the negotiating table after the Shazam thing. And then it falls through again with another cameo. And Ben Affleck has some type of resolution to his character. then that's a huge hurdle that I don't think can be overcome if they cannot work out a way for Cavill to come back, and then that's what they do in the Flash film. Is that's his part of the Flash film? If it's accurate leak, if it's his only part in the Flash film is just him on a TV, because there were talks even like a month ago. Oh, they're talking about bringing Cavill back. It always falls through. It's been in for the years with Henry Cavill and negotiating coming back as Superman, and they can never work it out. And that's part of things holding back too. Besides just the Zach angle, is the Cavill. Like, we want him. He says he's available, but they can't, for whatever reason. We don't know the reasons. They cannot work it out with Cavill, and it's always been in the news. I want to do it. I hear negotiations. Grace has tweeted out about negotiations with Cavill multiple times. Nothing ever comes from it. And if that falls through again, that might be why all the scoopers are saying that maybe there was a plan. They were discussing something, but the Cavill angle, and then Ben Affleck, I'm Batman, I'm not Batman, to get that together, I could see that.
Yeah. No, I get that.
Trying to put the blame on the cast for not walking out with Ben Affleck.
Oh, of course, because it's all about moving the goalposts.
Max, I'd love your thoughts on this. What do you think about what's happened to the directors of Batgirl, where they're getting harassment on Instagram?
I disavow that.
I know, but why do you think that's happening?
This is not ice. I'm not defending Snyder fans that are doing that. I'm saying, unfortunately, in all aspects.
Well, I'm just saying.
Media,
do you think it's appropriate to tell? Do you think it's appropriate to tell directors publicly on social media that they're boycotting their film?
I think that's. I wouldn't co-sign that. No, I don't have problems with people boycotting, but that's really lame to do that to the talent. They have nothing to do with it. I can see how it could be considered toxic. Yeah. I'm okay with people using their freedom of speech, closing their wallets if they think the quality is so bad. And I think consumers should have certain expectations met for quality and not be led along to nothingness, nothing burger. But saying directly to the director, that's I don't like that at all.
Also, like the reason, like there's no right reason to really boycott Warner Brothers right now, honestly. Like,
it's not just DC. They've messed up a lot of properties.
But messing up creatively and business-wise, it's not the same as like if they were abusing every single worker, then sure, we should boycott them. But it's like creative.
All these properties should be sped off. If they were doing the model with the other streaming services, Disney, not just even Marvel, they would be spinning off into limited series on their streaming services.
Well, they can't do Harry Potter yet because of the rights issue at Universal.
Yeah. I'm saying like Fantastic Beasts too. That was supposed to be something new. Godzilla vs. Kong was somewhat successful. Mortal Kombat should have its own series. It's not just DC. They are failing completely on having it be profitable enough to spin off to other content, because that is the new model that everyone is chasing right now. You have movies.
What about Peacemaker?
And your movie spin off.
What about Peacemaker?
We don't know yet. That looks like it could be a hit to me.
We could actually talk about that a bit in a minute. Sorry, RJ. Go ahead.
We can transition perfectly.
Yeah, let's do the transition to Peacemaker, actually.
Because there's a Peacemaker review roundups actually happened yesterday. I wanted to talk about this.
The Daily Beast one.
After this, I'll have to
Beast
get to
one
bed.
has spoiled some
but
stuff.
I'm interested in this though.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, so I really want to. The thing is, I really want to see Peacemaker next week. So Hollywood Reporter here says, for all the show's feints towards edginess, it colors well within the lines laid out by its predecessors. That's not entirely to its detriment. It makes Peacemaker a comfort rather than a challenge. Too much familiarity over the course of a season, however, leads to a series that's not easy. It's easy not to mind watching instead of one that's hard to quit watching. In his quest to shed new light on a character who came out of his last movie looking dangerously close to outright villainy, Peacemaker loses too much of the darkness that made him compelling in the first place. Okay. I mean, the darkness there, but I always thought him as a really kind of like over the top character anyway.
He's very over the top and he's douchey.
Like that's kind of, but he's maybe trying to like not be a douche, and that could be the issue.
Right.
TV Line here says, as part of what DC is calling its extended movie and TV universe these days, Peacemaker also isn't shy about directing some of its barbs at its world's top shelf heroes. as Chris regularly dishes embarrassing dirt on the likes of Aquaman, Superman, and Batman, at least based on what Google has told him. Those wink winks, though, don't compare to the genuine comedy generated by a larger team debates about, say, why the Riverdale kids can't be pinned for an episode 1 murder, and which enjoy extended cuts in end credit excerpts. All right. That looks like fun. Rolling Stone here says, between the blood and guts, the slapstick, the political satire, Peacemaker's 2 favorite words often seem to be deep state.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and the musical digressions, including a married couple debating the merits of Cinderella versus Foster the People during a hostage situation, which is very a James Gunn. That's very much a James Gunn thing.
James Gunn, all the way.
All the way. It says, yet the series functions as a sincere character study of its flawed hero and the unfortunate souls who have to work alongside him, just enough for the joke to never quite wear thin, even in a wildly oversaturated market for tales of hypermasculine men and women punching their way to justice. Peacemaker stands out. You'll want to taste it, even the parts that are an incredibly bad taste. Okay. Joe Blow says, James Gunn is a brilliant madman. Even before Guardians of the Galaxy, his work on Slither and Super showcased his genre sensibilities and made him the ideal person to direct comic book tales of misfits and off-kilter characters just outside the mainstream. With 2021's The Suicide Squad, Gunn delivered a mature, bloody, and profane epic that introduced many new characters to the DCEU. While I wasn't completely in love with The Suicide Squad, I was instantly a fan of John Cena as Peacemaker and have been looking forward to this HBO Max solo series since it was announced. I'm very happy to say that not only is Peacemaker a hilariously brilliant and subversive superhero story, but potentially the best work of James Gunn's career. I mean, these are all pretty good. Pretty good
there's
so
like
far.
the one mixed review from Hollywood Reporter, but otherwise it's been pretty positive across the board.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even Yahoo says here,
if you
like,
know, like I
go
know
ahead.
Daily Beast is like pretty spoiler riled up. Like it's almost like feels like a variety review, but like it's still a good review. Like I'm looking forward to this and like seeing what they set up with this, and obviously the rumors and the of Amanda Waller being in this, and then and like how that sets up like the next Suicide Squad story. You know, so it's really cool to see where this leads up to.
I'm really curious to see, which character is going to pop up, because did you guys hear that it's maybe Bloodsport's going to make an appearance?
Yeah,
there was
the Funko Pops, right?
The Funko Pop, the Funko Pop got leaked out, and one was for Bloodsport. I'm like, oh, well, that's something
interesting. Maybe
that's
he might be one of those the characters like near the end that like Waller mentions, and he is just there standing.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Peacemaker, not the Flash yet. I just, but that looks great, and I'm happy
next
it's coming
week
out soon.
3-episode premiere next week.
That's also gonna be something that's gonna,
5 weeks.
Sway the conversation for real. Like if it does really good numbers, that's gonna help Hamada going into. I think Hamada does have concerns going into the merger, but not if these things hit one after another. If Peacemaker, the Batman, and then when does the Flash come out?
November. But there's that argument that it might be moved just because it doesn't want to compete with Black Panther 2. And that's a fair argument to make.
Yeah, that's a very hard argument, but at the same time, like, where would it move to though? Like,
March of 2023.
March 2023. Because of the major reshoots, I forgot. Yeah.
I know. I mean, just in general, like general, like if the hype isn't there, if they're unable to this is why that we're going to have a problem with DC this year. And it has everything to do with how they're releasing things. So up until now, everything we've seen has been tied into the larger DCEU. Then the next movie we're going to get in 2 months from today is The Batman. And that is something in its own pocket universe. Then following that is going to be Black Adam and then The Flash, which are now back in that other universe. How is that not confusing to audiences? General audiences are going to be very confused.
Well, even if you're not connecting it to the movie, the DCEU verse, not the other verse, like you want me to reference it here. Even if it doesn't connect to there's not been a movie that WB's released that's connected to anything since Joss Whedon's version.
What are you talking about? Everything's been connected.
Well, there's just Aquaman was a one-off. Wonder Woman 84 was a one-off.
Aquaman, but they existed
Oh,
in the same. But they exist in the same
But
universe.
there's nothing that moved anything forward except now Black Adam and the Flash are hinting at a future of connectivity, some type of form of connectivity, besides just being a single movie. You know,
I mean,
they've kind of
they're all
ignored
gonna be one-offs.
Birds of Prey, kind of ignored stuff. The Justice League kind of ignored the first Justice League. It had some characters, but not all the storylines. It's just kind of like its own thing. And now they're actually going to address, like, we're doing something with the timeline in the Flash or the multiverse. So they're finally going to address things, but it's been such a big gap. Even if you don't go back to Zack Snyder's version, there's been a huge gap there. You don't see that?
Well, no. There's a massive gap there.
Yeah,
but
before they've addressed anything besides just Aquaman's storyline or just Wonder Woman, the storylines altogether. There's nothing been since Joss Whedon's version. There's nothing been. That's been a long gap. It's a big gap there. Regardless of which direction you go, it's still a big gap.
Well, that's kind of the whole point. They've made a lot of mistakes on that, because the last time we saw a Zack Snyder film released in theaters on this front was in March of 2016. And so that's been a big gap for audiences. And I feel that while the Snyder Cut has done well on home video and on HBO Max, obviously, and then PVOD around the world, it's still not a direction that they want to spend time in. So unless they establish Darkseid as the incoming villain, and they need everyone to fight him, like what if Black Adam replaces Superman as the one that fights Darkseid?
If I will say this, and I'm going to head out, if we at least get Darkseid back, I will be happy. I would prefer to see Henry Cavill Superman fight him. But I mean, if we at least get that back, that'll give me something.
Do you think they'll change the design that's been established?
I think that would be
Darkseid?
stupid.
If they did, I would just generally be sad. Because compared to, like, look at Steppenwolf in Snyder's version compared to what he looked like in the theatrical cut, it looks. I'm like, bro, why would they change it? Like, he looks way more badass in the Snyder one. So if they de-badass Darkseid and make him kind of like. I don't even want to think about it, but I would be generally upset because I think it looks awesome in Snyder's version.
And then I do have to go because Callie's let me know she has to go out. So thank you guys.
All right.
Someone said this. We need to be careful. You can't kill the Flush movie too much. Ezra Miller still needs to come back to finish the Snyderverse. I'd say be 85% toxic. Example. Man, that Flush movie looks worse than my toilet after I ate Chipotle, but the Ezra kid has nice hair. Bruh, if the Flush tanks, we will need to recognize as the most powerful in the fandom. The subcult leaders will be handed bribes to sway public opinion. Don't betray us, Mercury. Someone said, Rich pretty much assures that W will do everything in their power to make it a success, even if it means buying their own theater tickets. Oh my God.
Okay. Now I see what you're doing. Yeah. I just saw. Yeah, I know. These, all this shit's pretty crazy. Real quick though, we got a $2 super chat here from Andrew. Says, I sing I Dreamed a Dream. No, I don't know which one that is anyway. And no, we know the price of admission for karaoke, and we're not doing that tonight. So no, because I'm gonna close up shop in about 27 minutes, so I can get ready to go watch fucking Book of Boba Fett. Gayley here for $5. Thanks, buddy. Says, can confirm Black Adam won't be in Justice League lineup. However, he may show up as a cameo. That wouldn't surprise me at this point. That wouldn't surprise me at all. I would argue that in what they should probably do is like set him up to not to be part of it, but to be like the Captain Marvel show up at the end of fucking Endgame. Right. You know, it's like that, like kind of like that last like savior moment sort of thing. Like, we need some outside help. This is too much. And then, you know, he just like does a superhero pose landing and like, can you smell what Black Adam is cooking? You know, like something like, along those lines could be the reality. I don't know. Could be the reality.
I'm the hierarchy. I'm the top of the hierarchy of this universe now.
Yeah, I could. The hierarchy of power in the DC universe is going to change, and then everyone just stops and looks at him and goes, "Like, the fuck are you
What are
talking about?"
Like, are you okay? Who are you talking to?
Yeah, I know. Also, see you
Well,
later,
that's
Max.
it.
He had to go because his
Doggy.
dog won't shut the fuck up. But Callie does that. Callie
Yeah.
does that all the time.
She does it a lot.
A lot.
Callie is the biggest Mad Max detractor.
She really is. Yeah, she barks at him like, "Go to bed, Dad. You need to rub my belly. Give me a sibling." Anyway, let's see. Mo says here, release the Mo Moon cut. That's right. But here's something I wanted to quickly touch upon, just for a brief second here. Did you guys see this report coming out today? It was kind of all over social media about Black Widow, and apparently, according to Deadline, the piracy for it was so massive, over 20 million downloads last year, that it lost, and I'm air quoting that, Disney $600 million in revenue.
I mean,
This is why day and date will never be a thing.
Well, let me have a hot take on this one, right? That's a horseshit fucking number. It's playing with fake money.
Because
But I'm telling you, either way, 20 million piracy downloads, that is exactly why studios hate day and date releases. This right here.
But it's the thing is though, but that 20 million was going to happen whether it came out day and date or not.
Yeah.
You know, and like look at when they released it.
15 million. It's like it was gonna be higher than 10 million either way. Like,
I mean,
sure
it came out. People got it in 4K. You know, people still would have downloaded it in fucking shitty ass cell phone cam copy that comes out, because there's people in India that do it all the time. They put their stupid ass watermark on it for like their website. It's so funny. I see screenshots floating around every once in a while. The whole point though is it's arguing that you're going to lose money from piracy is, at this point, it's so redundant, because this isn't like, you know, it's a non-starter. Like, take Game of Thrones, for example. When Game of Thrones first came out, the producers are out there touting the piracy numbers. Look how good we're doing. Look how good we're doing. It was 4 million people watched it on HBO. 4 million people pirated it. By the series finale, nearly 20 million people were watching it on HBO, and 20 million people fucking pirated it. But you know what though? How many of those 20 million people bought the damn box set? How many of those 20 million downloads? And we don't even know the quality of those downloads. Now, sure, they released it in like 1080p and whatever. You can get a variety of formats of it, from up to like UHD 4K or whatever the top tier format is for 4K streaming, down to like, you know, 480 or whatever. But it's like, again, how many of those people have gone out and either bought Disney Plus as a membership to be able to watch it again, or they went out and they bought the disc when it came out? You know, I'm gonna look those numbers up real quick, because that's kind of the whole point. Degrassi says here, piracy is engagement. It's a loss leader. Yeah, basically. You know, like, that's kind of the whole point, is like, the cam rips get better every day. My phone can shoot in like 16K essentially. You know,
we have 4K video clips and screenshots from No Way Home already.
Oh my God, they look great.
And they do. They look amazing.
They look amazing. I've seen up-resed 4K images of that popping out, even like 4K video.
When the official version comes out, we're gonna get that movie in fucking 8K.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, did Black Widow, did it lose some money theatrically? Maybe, but it's also not something you can argue as being a lost sale. It's just, in my mind, that doesn't work like that. Because they know where they're going to make the money on the back end. They know where the rest of the money is going to come in. And clearly the movie did well enough for them. Look, they can also probably write this off then on their taxes. They could argue it as a loss, because if they think that the movie lost $600 million in revenue, guess what they can do? They can write off that potential loss from theatrical. That they can downplay that shit, because that's what studios do. They write the loss off on their taxes and everything else. So it's really kind of dumb. But I thought this was a fascinating number. I didn't know that it had been pirated over 20 million times. And I guarantee
that's a lot of pirated copies.
Well, that's what they're generally doing at that point, is they're generally talking about torrents, because you can track that data, because that's all basically public stuff, unless it's like a private torrent website where certain, you know, people do it behind the scenes and they share internally. So, but on that data, you can get that. that's not talking about websites that upload the film entirely and you can just stream it right from their website.
I know
that's
many sites that had it on day that it was released. There's so many different servers that are available for multiple different websites. And I'm like, oh, there's gonna be something eventually about this. 'Cause I'm like, there's always sites that immediately like people record and then upload to many different sites, and that's what I've seen. I was gonna watch on them, and I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna wait till it gets on Disney Plus with better quality and stuff like that. And it's like,
well, I mean, like I saw it in theaters, right? I saw it in theaters, and I knew it was coming to Disney Plus. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm not paying the $30 for it, but eventually it'll be on Disney Plus, and I'll watch it on Disney Plus. And you know what? Hey, it's on Disney Plus. I haven't watched it yet on Disney Plus, but it's there now, and I still pay them for my fucking money. So but like again, how do you break down? Yeah, I mean, I had I pay for like the Cinemark, movie club, so I get one free ticket a month for like $10, right?
Oh, nice.
I got like 6 of them stacked up because they roll over, so because of the pandemic. So I have go see a movie, not a problem, and I still spend money on concessions when I go because of all that. But yeah, I think this is kind of a ridiculous argument. I saw a lot of people out there like going, oh, it's all it's piracy is destroying movie theaters. I'm like, no, it's not. It was never an impact on theaters because people will always justify the experience. If you want to here's the thing, if you guys want to fucking Jesus. All right. I had to I don't know what the fuck Jimbo's doing there.
Jimbo's taking out his food.
Oh, okay.
I think he
yeah.
I think you.
Oh no, yeah, there we go. Yeah, I took his. Anyway, the whole point is that if I've always said what they should do is they should market pre-ordering the film as soon as you're done watching the movie. Like, because you know how it is, you walk out of the movie and you've got that high from seeing a good movie that you like. You're like, oh my God, that was the best thing ever. Well, what if you walked out and then like the kiosk of the fucking theater was like a little thing? Pre-order your movie now, right? Pre-order it, $20, digital copy. Here you go. How many people would just go, yeah, you know what? I want to buy this thing and I'm going to give them $20 right now to get it when it comes out in a few months. That may not stop them from going and seeing the movie again, but you're getting their money then. And then that money can sit in an account and accrue interest for a few months. I mean, there's a lot there that goes into that kind of stuff. There's a lot that they could do with it. I just kind of laugh my ass off at the way it generally ends up getting, it generally ends up getting all that stuff. All right. Real quick before we get into the final topic of the night. Okay. So H-Bars here says Haley Resident Justice.
Okay.
Oh,
by the way, did you hear the news that she's apparently she's teasing a new music album? So good for her.
Ooh,
I've heard one of her songs. I mean, she can sing. Yeah.
She can sing. She does. She actually has an EP. Go listen to it.
I had a taste and I was starving.
Cool. Andrew here for $2 says sing Deo.
Oh my God.
I'll just do the chorus, right?
Telling me I'm not.
Yeah. It's like, daylight come and me one go home. Day. Me's a day, me's a day, me's a day, me's a day, me's a day. Oh. Daylight come and me one go home. There you go. How about that? I love that track from fucking Beetlejuice, man. That shit's great. Gailey here with another $5. Thank you, buddy. Says a little bit of T-Hawk. Oh, Hawkman will definitely join the lineup as well as Martian Manhunter, but being recast. I don't know, man. Like Henry Lennox, like I don't know, like
do that though. No.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
That's
I don't know why they'd
casting.
get rid. He's good and people like him.
Yeah.
Like you could get him for a good price.
Honestly, if you look at the Flash,
you can. He's not doing much else right now.
What's the point of recasting Harry Lennox?
Look at the Flash IMDb page. You see a stunt double for Harry Lennox / Martian Manhunter.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So,
is it Harry or Henry Lennox? Harry Lennox?
I think it's Harry Lennox. I got Henry Lennox wrong one time, and so
it is Harry Lennox. Yeah, I think. Okay, yeah. I got it wrong. All right. Yeah. So
Josh was wrong. It's confirmed.
There you go. I can admit that I'm wrong. But Josh here says that was pretty good. Thank you, Josh. See, I can do that kind of stuff. But if you want me to sing other crap, that's where it's, when you're like, sing the mashup of Victorious and iCarly, eat shit.
Oh my God, last night was hilarious.
Terrible Jarbo do once more with feeling what the fucking Buffy's no. I don't know what's terrible about that.
Yeah. Me and
but
Jarbo
thank you.
did good, okay?
So yeah.
Straight.
Here, if you guys are having fun, we are just at 50 likes. Let's try to. There's still 140 of you in here. Smack the fuck out that like button because we got one more story to get to, and it's going to be very much where things are at right now in regards to what we're waiting on, and that is the Book of Boba Fett. Because apparently, it hit, but not as much as I thought that it would.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You know?
this is surprising to me. I'll be honest.
A little surprised on this one here. So according to Deadline, they said the Book of Boba Fett premiered viewership was 13% higher than Hawkeye. Now Hawkeye was lower than Loki, which was like to set the bar for everything on that set the bar for everything in regards to the viewership numbers. And that of course was Marvel's third outing for the year. I thought Star Wars would be a bit bigger. So I was a little bit confused by that, but here's what this article has to say. They say here that the audience for Book of Boba Fett, as measured by Samba TV across 46 million TV devices, with a panel of 3 million smart TV household who watched at least 5 minutes, was 13% higher than the 5-day premiere of Hawkeye, which was watched by 1.5 million households from November 24th to the 28th. What they're saying here is that the Book of Boba Fett was viewed 1.7 million US or by 1.7 million US households in the first 5 days.
So 0.2 higher.
So it would be 200,000.
Yeah.
Effectively. Here's the thing with that though. That's over 5 fucking days.
Yeah.
And look, there's over 100, and what's Disney Plus up to now? It's like 116 million. What's it got now? It's 118.1 million as of November 10th. So it's 46 million households and only 1.7 million, but we don't know how many of those are if they've all got Disney Plus. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't look. I'm just gonna say it gives you an idea of what went on. But Samba TV is in no way reliable on this stuff. Although I find it interesting, though, that Portland, Oregon was the largest market with 71%. It was kind of weird because Portland, I'm in between Portland and Seattle. So we definitely, I guess, represent up here. A lot of Star Wars fans. But I do feel that maybe part of the problem is that it didn't have the same wow factor that Baby Yoda had. Or, because we talked about that last week, where there was no big reveal at the end of the episode. And that was an issue.
I think it was a bit of an issue, but here's something that I wanted to bring up. I think it was just an issue of marketing. And listen, I'm not saying the show needed a bunch of marketing because it's Star Wars, it's Boba Fett. But I feel like the marketing was almost non-existent for this show. It's just a really weird initial marketing push. I feel like they focused so much of the attention on Hawkeye and some other things going around that time that Book of Boba Fett kind of came to the wayside a little bit. Obviously, Star Wars is the built-in audience, but I feel like they could have done more. If that makes sense. And I think they underestimated. Like, I think they thought that just the name brand and the brand of Star Wars would be enough. I feel like they kind of underestimated that a little bit when they probably should have done a little more marketing just to be on the safe side.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I mean, they probably should have done more marketing with it. The marketing was like, maybe the marketing was a little bit misleading because it was all like, this is all from the first 15 minutes of the first episode.
I think it was too secretive. I think they should show just a little more.
And maybe we're past that now. I mean, I understand the secretive nature of, of everything, right? Like, I mean, The Mandalorian during its first trailer showed off a mystery. It was a mystery of like, bounty hunting is serious business, right? Werner Herzog and that very ominous, mysterious voice. And Mando was a bounty hunter, and Mando is clearly on a mission.
Mando was the first show of its kind, right?
Well, it was, but they needed to establish a hook, right? And the hook with that was like outside of Baby Yoda. The hook with that was obviously it's a Mandalorian on a mission, like he's got to go and do something. It's to follow the Empire out on the Outer Rim, things along those lines. There's at least a setup there. Here it's like Boba Fett. We haven't seen his ass in like 40 years, outside of coming back from Mandalorian season 2. Great, awesome scene, Tamara Morrison. And then all of a sudden, he's like, without even any explanation, in season 2 of Mando, he then takes Fennec back to Tatooine, takes out Bib Fortuna, and then starts to like try to take things over. It's a bit jarring story-wise because you're like, okay, what exactly am I watching here? And what exactly are they trying to do? Like, what's the story they're trying to tell me? And I'm hoping in this episode, they establish what that story is. And because if they don't, that is not good. And I'll say that, like, as much as I like the show, that is not good. And I think
it's
really
gonna go
hoping.
Up, though. I think it's going to go up.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to build up hype after this week's episode, especially. I think it's just going to be up from here. I'm not too worried about it, to be honest with you.
Most likely.
I mean, they got to put in a character cameo from like the larger universe. It's got to be like Mando needs to make a fucking appearance.
I think it's gonna be this upcoming episode because Dave Filoni loves to put a character or two from his like side of the creation. Like it's like always someone that he has helped move forward as a character or he's created. So I definitely think it's gonna be this episode. If not,
I mean, like, but my question then becomes like, but when? I mean, outside of Ahsoka in chapter 6 of season 2, he did the pilot episode, which I mean introduced IG-11, which was cool, and then also introduced Quill, who was awesome. Rip Quill, and then he did episode 5, the Gunslinger, which was not the great. I mean, Fennec Shand was awesome, and then introducing that character and everything was great too. Never mind, she was actually meant to be a one-off. Did you guys hear that?
Oh, Fennec Shand?
It was supposed to be. She was supposed to die in the episode, and then that was it.
I could totally tell.
Well,
I could totally tell that's what they initially had planned. I'm so glad they didn't.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah. Well, and then apparently her and Dave Filoni went to the same high school.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Ming-Na and Dave. I think Ming-Na is like 2 classes above.
Something like that, yeah. But like she was able to kind of, or one of the producers wanted it, or they were able to kind of convince to keep the character around, and obviously bringing her in for the Bad Batch season 1, and then keeping her around for this is pretty awesome. So yeah,
And
no,
also, someone also realized that like that Ahsoka had a whole on like kind of not show but like a whole season of Clone Wars before her coming into Mando and being like teased in Bad Batch. So maybe that's like a whole thing with like who showed up in Bad Batch that people didn't know was going to show up in Bad Batch. Cad Bane. So maybe Cad Bane shows up here somewhere. Who knows?
No, that was the rumor that came out. That was elite.
Cad Bane and Bossk are the 2 rumored
Yeah.
ones.
I mean, there's a lot there. Like, like what if fucking Dengar shows up? Because I saw Pablo Hidalgo on Twitter today talking about Dengar, and that Bossk was also on.
Yeah.
Was also on.
Dengar though. Did you know Dengar was in episode 9?
Yeah, he was. He was like that robot.
Yeah, he
thing.
became a robot cyborg man. Like, he
Yeah.
became a fully evil monster, like that could barely talk or do anything. They kind of said "F you" to Dengar and Dengar fans, man, because he had like a happy ending in the EU, and they just turned into like a bum.
I didn't know. Oh, where was he at? Where was he at in episode 9?
The bar
He's like in
scene
the background
with John Cena, not
somewhere.
John Cena,
John Williams.
Yeah, John Williams. He's in that scene. It's like he's just a robot monster.
Yeah, you can
Like, he doesn't even look like Dengar. Like, I don't even know why they made that character Dengar.
Okay, was that like in the official visual novelization or what, or visual guide?
Yes.
Oh my god. I mean, I like the fact that they had Revan in the visual guide. That was pretty cool, kind of establishing that connection. But yeah, that's kind of a weird. Watch them retcon that. To be fair,
They probably will.
But in Jabba's, the what's it called? The Jabba's sand skiff.
Oh, the sand skiff, yeah.
The sand skiff. You can see like Bosk's hand behind Max Rebo. And there's a production photo that shows Bosk was there, but in the movie you only see his hand. I just found that out today. So it's like Bosk was also on that thing as well, and so yeah, I mean, like,
though, right?
No, canonically, because you see it in Return of the Jedi. It's just you only see his hand.
Maybe his hand got cut off.
Wait, whose hand?
Bosk
and where?
And no, he's joking.
Oh, I was like, what? Boston.
I don't know who Degrassi is. Degrassi might be a Hollywood insider. I don't know. He drops these things in the chat sometimes. I'm just like, I don't know who you are, Degrassi. You seem to know things. He's claiming Bosk is in Book of Boba Fett, though.
Well, there was those
surprises.
So
how is Boss related to Boba? Isn't he like
He's one of the bounty hunters.
Yeah.
Empire Strikes
besides
Back.
that, yeah.
he's the lizard one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I thought he was like, who is it? Dengar, or like who's the one that helped train Boba?
Cad Bane.
Yeah, that was Cad Bane, and who's the white skinned lady with like the weird mohawk and the sniper?
Damn!
Or is it Aura Singh? Is it Aura Singh?
Yep,
I think Aura Singh. Yeah. And she was killed by a Sanji Ventress, wasn't she?
I don't think so.
I maybe I have to go back and look it up.
Yeah.
There's a lot there. I mean, who knows? They're going to clearly do something with it, but I do feel that more than 1.7 million households watched it, because I know we all watched it on PC. I don't have a Samsung television, so I would love it if Disney would release the actual numbers on this one. That way we know where we stand with it. But that being said,
it wasn't Asajj Ventress. Real quick, it was Tobias Beckett who killed Aura Singh. Woody Harrelson's character from Solo. Apparently, he told Lando Calrissian that he pushed her off a cliff or something.
Oh wow!
Damn.
That is shocking. Apparently, that was like in a comic book or something.
Wow.
Crazy. Who knows?
Or you know.
Wow. That's an interesting, little tidbit I never knew about.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
all right.
Max Rebo is the star.
Yeah,
Yes.
hold on here. Zack Snyder for $2. Thank you, Zach. Tell Max I'm done.
Holy shit, Zach.
Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder's
yeah.
here.
CW34 says, please bring back Chud Watch. Tomorrow night we'll bring back Chud Watch. There's some stuff there.
Covering? Any
well, there was I had it up last night. We just kind of went long. There was an article I found on Bounding into Comics that like broke my brain as per usual.
A lot of people are requesting the Nerdrotic Hawkeye review. I saw that.
Okay, I haven't. I saw that. Yeah. So if somebody wants to send that to me, we can get that ready for tomorrow. I know Cameron Pasha was on with like Valiant Renegade again, but their video is like 50 fucking minutes long. I'm not going to watch all that. The last I heard Friday Night Tights brought me up. I heard that happened. I don't know what was said. Like last week, I think.
Really?
I don't know what was said. I was just told, someone said, "Oh, they mentioned you." I'm like, "All right, cool." Don't know what they said, or I didn't ask, or I'm not going to go back and watch. And so I have no idea. But we'll have to. I'll do Chud Watch tomorrow. There's just a lot going on with the Snyder stuff's kind of been a big deal. H-Bar's here for $2. Says, let's be honest, Max Rebo is the star. Damn straight. Hopefully we get more out of him.
I was very happy to see him come back. Actually, I know it's a dumb little blue elephant dude, but he's cool.
Yeah, I know. Well, the thing is, like, the fact that even in that casino, one of the droids looks like Captain Rex, right? Or like it looks like Rex from Star Tours.
Oh yeah, I love that. Yeah.
So that was a great
he was like the poker dealer or whatever.
Yeah. Well, and then also the Robert Rodriguez was the one performing the guitar, and the song he was performing was actually written by John Williams.
Oh really?
Yeah, so the song that's being played in the guitar next to Max Rebo, or I think that was Rodriguez, and he was performing a John Williams written score or song.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a lot of little things that's going on there, and I'm very excited to see what happens.
McLeod,
with that.
I did hear about that actually. Like Keanu donated 70% of his Matrix paycheck to cancer research for leukemia.
Yes. And not only that, at the end of filming The Matrix 3, he threw a cast party where he spent $9 million on this cast party back in 2002.
Wow.
That was he did that in Australia. Maybe it wasn't maybe it was like 90,000. Yeah, it was a lot of money. It was a lot of money he spent on it.
Was it something like just to celebrate the cast and crew, or was it just like
Yeah, it was a cast and crew party. Yeah. He spent a lot of money on that. Maybe $9 million is a bit much. Maybe it was like 90,000 or something. I don't know. But I know that's a big gap. It's been a long time since I heard that. And yes, I heard that he donated 70% of his Matrix salary to cancer research. That roughly, I think, estimated a little over 31 million, I believe, from what I was reading.
Yeah, like
the cancer research.
32.
I mean, Keanu, we don't deserve Keanu is the best way to describe. We don't deserve Keanu.
Hashtag we don't deserve Keanu Reeves.
And
Is
we're
that
very
true,
lucky to.
Cressy, that he buys everyone on every movie a new car at
I
Rap?
think it was a watch. I thought it was a watch.
Yeah, he bought like I think the first John Wick movies. He bought like everyone a watch,
Yeah.
and then like I think John Wick 3 he bought like some of the camera crews new cars.
Yeah, I mean the thing is like the guy makes enough money and he doesn't need a lot of it, so he just gives it away. I mean like that's cool,
I mean,
man. That's
the way
great.
to do it.
That's good for him. H Bart's here with $2 more. Says Max Rebo is God.
Yes, he is.
No, that'd be Keanu. All right,
Oh
Max
no,
Rebo's.
Keanu
oh
Reeves.
no, Saggy. Oh no.
Did
And the chat was not amused. Good.
yeah, I
Apparently you're
watched them
pissed.
react and they were like they looked.
Should we watch the chat's
depressed.
reaction?
Let me see here. Trying to.
I mean, at least Enosh looked fine, but then like the other three were like looked unimpressed and depressed, like as if like Saki ruined their days.
Oh, good.
Like
I'm okay with that. All right. Let's see. All right. You know what? Here we'll bring it up. We'll give it a watch. Because that's gonna be pretty funny. I like it when we can ruin somebody's day. Why not? All right. Okay. Let's see here. There's Saggy. Can you get
I had no
There we
idea
go.
what it contained, so that's okay. It says we don't talk about Jarbo song parody. Okay. Let's,
Oh, they look so
let's see
depressed.
what this
It
is all
looks-
about. Let's go.
Wait, did you full screen it? Full screen.
We don't talk about Jarbo, no, no, no. We don't talk about
Yell's face.
Jarbo.
Wide eyes.
Zack Snyder
It was
Day.
Zack Snyder
Getting
Day.
ready, and after 4 hours went by.
4 hours went by.
Jarbo walks in, inside the first is dead.
It's dead.
Jarbo's a hater, goodbye.
Their faces.
Jarbo says the fans are insane.
Now, like first it was
All
all
of them.
smiles, and then it was
All
like
of them.
straight faces. Once it said Snyder's is dead, they're like, oh,
Oh, at least
Jerry.
Jerry's smiling. Jerry's smiling.
yeah, Jerry was funny.
No,
He was good.
Dial is a stone face.
Yes.
Philip looks really confused. Enoch
Yes.
doesn't know what to make of this. You know what? At least Jerry smiled.
Okay.
At least Jerry smiled.
Don't ever play that again.
Yeah.
Thank you, Saggy.
Enoch just
Don't ever play that again.
Thanks for the effort.
They're like, don't wake up like that ever again.
I don't think they know what
Gotta
it's
work
I,
parodied
I,
from there.
I don't know what I just watched.
Yeah.
They don't know.
That's
Yeah, they have
honest
no
with you.
clue what it's parodied.
Not quite sure. It was something.
Something else.
It was something.
Jerry.
Let's see.
100%.
I love
Zentek here.
Jerry. That
Zentek,
was
what's up, man?
hilarious.
all right. There we go on that one.
Jerry was like,
That was amazing.
That was pretty. That was pretty funny.
That was amazing. That was like the song was great. Don't get me wrong, Saggy, but their reaction was even better.
That was really funny. Yeah, they're just like, oh, that wasn't good, you guys. That was pretty terrible. Like, that's just someone going in
You know
there
what?
and
You know what,
literally
though?
breaking
We
their
got-
brain.
Jerry was smiling the whole time though. Jerry was enjoying himself at least. So you know what? It was worth it.
There you go. That is worth it right there, folks. Be sure to head over and I guess like leave a like or whatever. I don't know. You know, although J Money and Enosh's chat is saying release a Saggy cut. We don't talk about Jarbo remix. Someone could, you know, because we don't talk about Jarbo. Whoa, whoa. Anyway,
Ah,
It was
that
Zack
one.
Snyder's
Come on,
day.
Damon Impacto. When it's just Chad. Here we got talent, unlike some people over there. My question is why
Wow.
about Saggy song. Ah, come on.
Oh,
Don't be a
come
stick in the
on.
mud, Damon Impact. We got some talented people here.
that's
Jarbo could sing a mean Nickelodeon song.
I don't even care about singing, man. I think it's really funny.
Restore the universe.
So let's see. H bar for $2 says Elmo heard Interstellar is better than Inception. Elmo heard wrong.
Elmo is just Elmo, you know.
Yeah,
How's Elmo's reaction to Rocco?
I
Oh
don't know,
my
what is-
god! Have Jarbo?
Have you seen all the
seen the
Rocco?
clips from Sesame Street where like it's like
Oh
the,
my
like Elmo's the new
God.
meme now, where like it's him and that one character Zoe, and
The
like she
main
has like a
character,
pet
Zoe.
rock named Rocky. It's some of the
Rocco.
funniest shit
It's
I've ever seen in
Rocco,
my
and
entire
she's
life.
so annoying with Rocco.
It's so fucking
I'm
funny.
Elmo, honestly.
It's
No,
so funny.
I don't know anything about that. But
I retweeted some of it. If you get the time, just scroll through my timeline.
yeah,
and look.
maybe
They're really funny.
we could check it out tomorrow or something because it is about 11:14 and I gotta wind this thing up. I want to start getting ready to watch
I
Book
gotta
of
get
Boba
going
Fett.
for I got my Book of Boba Fett watch party in about 30 minutes. So if you want to tune
Yep.
in for that, go ahead and go over to my channel. So
I'm gonna go get comfy in bed, watch it on my big screen, and then go to bed because tomorrow's gonna be a fun day. My girlfriend got her booster shot yesterday, so today she was just like down for the count. Just messing everybody up, so that's unfortunate. But she should feel better tomorrow, hopefully. And then it snowed again today, so that
Oh wow.
I can't catch a break. My car has not been driven since Christmas Eve.
Oh
Wow.
my god. Have you
Yeah,
started it at least?
I need to go there and start it.
Oh.
Yeah,
my
you
gosh.
should.
I
just
should.
Go and do
I
Car's
should.
not gonna start.
My car is no the battery. I know I just had the battery checked and the battery's still
Okay.
good. Right before the snow hit, so we're fine on that front. But yeah, that's been a fun week. But all right, everybody, thank you all very much for coming on over and hanging out. There's still 129 of you guys in here. If you guys are new to the channel, please feel free to leave a like. Feel free to subscribe, hit that bell. I go live a lot. Obviously, Hollywood After Dark is a very wild show. You never quite know what you're going to get. You might get haters over on another live stream that are just kind of, whatever. It's all good. This place is very much open for all. We have a lot of fun here. Thank you very much to the group of guys who came on and hung out with me tonight. And we'll see you all tomorrow. Have a good one and enjoy Book of Boba Fett.